Gentlemen, hold on. Bug Nation, we're back online. I hope everyone is doing well. We will be doing coaching today. Oh my god. There was a mid-season patch on Tuesday. I don't know why I blanked on the date, but it was indeed Tuesday. And some things went through, but nothing too insane, to be honest. Tracer nerf, Genji nerf, ball nerf, lots of dive nerfs. And as a result, Cassidy should be a little bit stronger because dive has, across the board, just gotten weaker. So it should be translating to net benefit. Okay, these menu noises are really annoying. So we're going to quickly hop into a code, but I hope everyone is doing well and everyone's looking good. So we have a lot of codes. Okay, we're not going to be able to do all of these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 4 from Gargamel, so we'll ask him if he's here, which ones he wants to do. And then we have, oh, I need to change the Twitch title. Hold on, let me do that before I forget. Twitch.tv. Then we're going to go to channel. Drops, no ads, Cassidy, coaching. Sick. Okay, we're online, gentlemen. And then let me do... Am I not logged in? Why is it saying... Okay, I guess whatever. Well, wait, is this not live? No, it is, surely, right? Edit. It's public. I don't know why it's not. Twitch is bugging out for me, but whatever. Kwame, good to see you, bro. I'm doing well. Today's been a good day. I played some Overwatch. I actually did really well today on an alt account. But just been chilling, really. Today's been I had a really productive morning. I reorganized my whole apartment. I did a ton of laundry. And we're looking good. Life has been good. So hanging in there. But we're gonna do coaching today, no gameplay. Unless we have way too many codes. So if we do coaching, it'll be a lot later. Or sorry, if we do gameplay, I probably won't. I'm gonna be tired by the end of the stream. So yeah, there's pretty much no way I'm gonna be doing gameplay. But Kwame, you have 2 codes. Which one do you want to start with first? You got Runasapi and Atlas. And then do you have any specific notes on these codes? Or no? And then we have 4 from Gargamel, and then we have 1 from SuperNiceGuy. The first one was before patch. Oh, was it really? Oh, I think it was, yeah. 3 days. Wait, 3 days ago? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, okay. So it's just this Runasapi one. Okay, cool. Gotcha. So Runasapi, you said, was kind of lost near the middle. Probably should have lost the game. Okay, let's see. Let's take a gander.
I carry my burdens alone.
You sure do carry your burdens alone. Wait, wow, it's also really loud. Let me turn it down as well. Then let me make sure I have replay buffer and recording going. I haven't been playing Cass that much lately as I've been learning Tracer. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Tracer's a hero I'll coach eventually, just not right now. Tracer's a lot more angling, and then if you have a dive tank, setting up for your dive. But want to get a code in? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Tracer's a little, like, a lot of the principles you learn on Cassidy, you can apply to Tracer, as in taking deep angles and being opportunistic and pressure or whatever, but it is a little bit of a different game here. So your Tracer insta-dies. It's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, it's enemy Tracer. Triple blinks into your Brig Rhine. This genius. So, not sure what she expected. Here, you're up 1, go wider. So here you're up one. Let me bring up Epic Pen as well. I always forget to boot up Epic Pen. So I like this angle, but we need to go a little bit wider to capitalize. You want to capitalize on the you being up. The risk reward for you being up here, oops, there we go, is the risk of taking the angle is not that high given that you're up one. So we need to come right side here and kind of play more like where your Rhine is, not in main, but in that door that's on your right. So like here is where you would need to be. Because how would you die here? It's a Genji dive or Malga dive, and both of those you can see them for long enough that you can kite anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue on this map. Jared, good morning, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. But here, yeah, notice, okay, so notice, Kwame, because you're on this angle, all of these gunfights suck. You shoot the Malga, you shoot the Ilari, and then you're kind of just like, all of this is really awkward, right? Well, you would have actually avoided this if you played here. So if we go back to when Ryan was here, which is now, if you're here now, shoot Malga, shoot Malga, shoot Malga. I mean, it cannot be more obvious what your play is, right? Shoot Malga here, and then maybe rotate for a deep flank if you want. Okay, if you want to take on some risk. I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this, but if you did want to, at least it's an option now, right? So that's kind of my thing here. You're not in a position to carry right now because you didn't make that rotation. Nice shot. Cool. Mark the angle from the tracer. Cool, I like it. I think it's quite good. I wouldn't be too invested here, to be honest. Because the problem is, the reason you don't want to mark this angle for too long is because even if you are here, you have to be like basically in the room to completely prevent the rotation. Because if you're just here, for example, she can just triple blink here and then she's in and then now you can't do anything. Hopefully you'll see I've been working on my crosshair placement as well. Well, that's great. I'm sure, have you seen, have your games felt easier? I'm sure they have. I'm sure your games have been easier because of your crosshair placement. But yeah, yeah, of course. But here's the thing, like, you don't really want to stuff angles like this, not only because she can just triple blink through anyway, but because it's far away from your team, right? So if you do lose the duel, you can't get any help. So here, you should just be rotating straight to your team here. It's very fortunate you don't get dove by the Genji. You made it to Masters? Well, congratulations, man. That's amazing. That's great. Here the angle is this. This is the angle. So you kind of just rotate the wrong way. Because here's the thing. If you get dove here, you know what? It's just kind of rocky. Yeah, the problem is your team is like really pushed up. Never mind. This is just kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because the core issue is that you marked this tracer. You should have just ignored tracer. Because you marked this tracer, like, let's zoom out for a second. Or like you attempt to do so, like we can see here. Boom, you do marker on that angle, and then because you attempt to do so on this angle as well, notice how separated you are from your team. Like right now, you should be either right here or doubled up with your soldier. But as a result of that commitment you made, you have bad timing on this rotation. So now whenever you do need to cross in the open, the Malka has already taken space and you're just kind of screwed. So your issue was marking that tracer because as a result, and this won't always happen, but in this game it did happen. As a result of this, you have bad timing for any other rotation. So it's like really awkward for you. Okay, aiming head level, that's great. I like the Deadeye. I actually think it's quite good. That guy gets pinned off the map and you cancel it. Perfect. You see that everyone is rotated out and it like, let's pull it up again. Not enough Cassidys do this. You see that everyone is rotated out, right? The Weaver and the Ilari unswing you going to the right side. The Maga's getting pinned off the map. And as a result, there's pretty much nothing you can do. And so you cancel it and then take space as a result. Is it not my job to mark tracer? It is, just not on this map. In the manner of which you're doing it, right? So for example, it's just too far. Like this angle is just too far away, right? If you're gonna mark tracer, you're gonna do it right here or in this room. But because you do it here, you're way too far away from your team. That's the only problem, right? You want to think of it like this. So as the cart is being pushed, your team has this amount of space or kind of around the cart. There's like some radius there. You want to be marking angles relative to the radius, right? So you want to stand here and mark the tracer off this angle, or stand here and mark the tracer off this angle, or whatever, right? It's a similar idea. The problem is slightly before, the cart was here, and imagine the radius like this. You're all the way on this side of the map, right? So it's a little bit too far. It's just too far is all it kind of comes down to. What you really need to do is you can mark this room that you actually ended up doing, right? If we actually go back to the moment here, let me delete this. If we go back to the moment, you mark the tracer off this angle here, which is actually great. Boom, she's off the angle. What you should do here is what is she going to do? She's going to blink back and grab the mega, very likely. So you need to continue your rotation to play with your team, and then you just deny this door, not the other door. Okay, ignore the other door over here, and that's the principle, right? And this is just kind of comes down to being too far away from your team, because the tracer, she'll just poke you out, then leave, and then now you're out of the fight for 15 seconds as you rotate back. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. Okay, this Deadeye comes through, and then we take space. Cool. Is there a roll spot to go to balcony here? Which balcony? On the U point? You can roll off the car to this tarp to get up top, but that's about it. Can you roll to this balcony? Probably. You probably can do like off this trash can to get up here. I haven't figured. But it wouldn't really be good anyway, so I wouldn't recommend it. Here, why don't chase this tracer, just let her live, bro. It's way too far away. You have to think of these opportunities in terms of opportunity cost, okay? Chasing this tracer, what do you stand to gain in chasing this tracer? Well, you could kill her, but are you in a good position to kill her? No, obviously not. How would you be? You'd have to like teleport through the wall and happen to be on the other side of the map right now, okay? That's clearly not happening. If you roll off this high ground, you now forego the opportunity to poke the enemy team's walk up, to deny them access to this room, to get an early pick because they're not paying attention. You forgo a lot of great things. And also, as a result of this, you allow the enemy team to take all of this space for free. For free. I'm not saying you need to contest, you need to be here right now, but I am saying that by you making the rotation to chase the tracer, you're basically doing what she wants you to do, which is chase her and allow her team to take space for free. One of the best parts of Tracer is because she's so mobile, she can just get people's resources out, like a roll cooldown, like a flashbang cooldown, make them use ammo, force them to reload, whatever, and live. And as a result, that lets the enemy team, so everyone minus the tracer, walk in and take space or do whatever. Okay, so committing to this tracer is a huge mistake from a macro perspective. You should just be staging for the next fight and poking the walk up or doing things along those lines. So yeah, that's a error. Okay, so we chase the tracer. So do we kill her? Yeah, but I think that's very fortunate. Never thought about it like that. Oh, my Alexa's going off. Well, now you know about it, so that's good. Today after I moved all my stuff, I unplugged my Alexa and I haven't set it up again. Alexa, stop. Amazon, stop. All right, whatever, never mind. We're just going to have to listen to her ramble. But going for this tracer, I understand you kill her, but I promise you this is not good. I promise you it's not good. I wouldn't do this. I think you can actually, okay. You might be able to argue for it because the enemy team just died. But I'm going to be honest, does this guy just misplay? This guy just sucks. Okay. The only reason we kill his tracer is because she sucks. I'm not even gonna be real. I'm gonna be so real with you. A better tracer, you don't kill her. She just leaves and grabs the mini in the middle part of the map. Okay, I don't like this angle. I like the idea of taking an angle from you, but I don't like this angle. Why? Okay, why would I not like this angle? What are the enemy team playing? They're playing Maga. They're playing Tracer, which are two people that have dive capabilities. Also, range is an issue, right? You're correct, Gargamel. So the problem is, if you get dove, you're going to be behind a wall where your team, notice where your supports are playing, by the way. Your Brig is here, and then I actually have no idea where your Life Weaver is. Let me actually zoom out. He might have actually died. Did he die? No, he's on a pedal that I just didn't see. Both of your supports are here, okay? So if you are taking a ton of damage and you have to rotate back, you're not going to get support from anybody and you're just going to die. And also all of this is like largely out of your range. Okay, so where you want to play is here on top of the staircase, or sometimes you'll play back here on this sign. These are your better options because they're safer, they're with your team, and you have kiting options that can have help from your team as well. I only really recommend angles like this, like in the as a mid-fight rotation. So yeah, I don't like this position from you, but we will keep rolling. See, here's the thing. Notice how you can't follow up off this Rhine chatter. You can't follow off the Rhine chatter. That's because you're not on. If you're on this angle, it would be slam dunk easy to follow up on this. And actually, that Reaper would have died. For sure would have died. So that was a mistake. And that's what I'm saying, right? You said, I think I just get obsessed with taking an off angle sometimes. I think this is fantastic. It's good to take off angles, guys. But you need to think about angles in terms of opportunity and your capacity to be helped by your team, or your capacity to contribute to your team, what's going on with your team, right? This angle is just too far. If you're Sojourn, it would be a little bit more acceptable because then you can slide to this angle if you need to. What I will say is now that you're on this angle, Kwame, your best play is to hard wrap and shoot them all in the back. That's your best play by a mile. Should he go wider? Yes, exactly. You are right, Gargamel. He should go wider. Now that he's here, he should go wider. But he should have been here to begin with. But the skills I'm telling you, Kwame, are things that like should be broadly applicable to what you're doing, right? So like you take an off angle, which is good, but you need to identify, is it a good angle for Cassidy, right? Is this a good Cassidy angle given the enemy team comp? You're at a high enough elo where taking angles isn't enough to win. It's not. You need to take angles and you need to do so relative to what the enemy team comp is. Okay, so taking an angle like this against a Malga, Tracer, Reaper doesn't really make a ton of sense. Okay, the enemy team is kind of trolling by walking into a room with Reinhardt that they know they have Shatter, but in the event that the enemy team play this correctly, they're probably just going to run it down main or something and dive you in backline and you could die. I'm not going to act like what Kwame is doing right now is not a terrible play. It's not terrible. A terrible play would be to be on cart right now. This would be like the worst play you could probably make, or like way back here or something. Those would be the worst. But I'm just letting Kwame know that I think this angle is better because there's more options, right? You have to think about it in terms of what options you have and then what's the opportunity cost. But he can get jumped on from room by Reaper or Malga, and his best play is to roll into a bad position. Are you talking about from here? So if he's here, if we watch the chain of events, right, so he would be here probably about now. Let's watch it in real time. Poke Malga, poke Malga, poke Malga, poke Malga, and then follow up on the Shatter that's about to come out. Follow up on the Shatter. Like, it would slam dunk easy. If he does get pushed out, he just rolls backwards here, and this is a really good. It's really hard to push you out here, because if you're gonna die on this staircase, you're pretty much gonna die anywhere you stand. This is a really hard commit from the enemy team. They have to go around a whole corner where they're. Keep in mind, if they go around this corner, they're not gonna have any supports, right? So they have to hard commit. So, yeah, I think that position should be better, to be honest. Which is why, Kwame, whenever you see pro players play Cassidy, they don't really play angles like this. because of this matchup stuff I'm talking about. So you made this good rotation to the right side, but it's too late. Like this rotation was just way too late. You need to do it earlier. Like when that Rhine shatter came out and you realized that you had no way to follow up, you needed to be on this angle so that you can capitalize on the enemy team rotating out of the position. Okay, but you're just too late. Yeah, and now you're in a bad position and you're stuck between the Tracer and the Alari. Great kill. Yeah, here, don't even shoot the. I'm be honest, don't even shoot. You overperform killing the Tracer, which is great. Here, don't even shoot Maga, just leave. Think about this in terms of risk reward. Okay, what's the risk? You're next to a point blank Malga who's gonna have charge in 3 seconds, actually 1 second, and the reward is you deal 200 damage to him with the fan the hammer, and that's it. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. You need to back up and just wait for your team. Don't even peek. Don't even peek. Just wait. Because everyone is respawning right now. And someone just died. Your life weaver just died. So this peek, I know I'm kind of like being nitpicky, but I promise you, you will lose games for doing things like this. You have to evaluate risk reward. Does the poking make sense for the, like, does the risk I take, aka walking forward to an enemy take, make sense for the reward? It doesn't make any sense. Your team's not here. The Maga has his cooldowns. You can just get charged and die. So it's a little bit sloppy. Here, I don't really have too much of an issue with you swinging on the Malga, but I'd prefer you not be point blank. Like what I'd prefer you do is you swing the Malga, roll to the right, or like just walk to the right side behind the Reinhardt and try to get to this angle. We need distance. Distance is the #1 thing you need against tanks. So you're playing way too close to the Malga currently. Your soldier's dead. How does your soldier die? Actually, let's see. So he swings the angle. His issue is proximity. He's way too close to the enemies. I mean, this is a dumb play. It's the idea is okay, but he needs to do it from way further away. But he's just way too close to them. Sorry, I banged my microphone. Okay, the fight's lost, so just trade out, sure. I like the Deadeye, great Deadeye. Walk on this Reaper. What was his flash? And whatever. Don't mind the flash. Nice shots. I can see you are clearly aiming head level. Use microphone instead of a headset mic. Yeah, I have a microphone. It's a Shure MX7 microphone. It's really nice. I got it from my last job. Don't drop. Don't drop. Good play, but don't drop. I don't know why we're dropping here. You turn off VC and text chat. Yeah, I had it for my last job where I did a lot of community management and online marketing stuff, so I needed a nice microphone. Here, just don't drop. I don't, like, so it's kind of a chain reaction of issues. So we drop here to shoot this Malga, who's whatever. He gets gripped out. Now you're stuck on the ground. It's really awkward. You catch the Tracer, which is great. I don't like you rolling to the angle. I like the angle, just don't roll. Boom, just walk to it. Because then you can roll here when this Reaper pushes you. Right, we should be 150 HP right now, not 30. Okay. And then you lose the 1v1. So this came down purely to rolling to the angle. So, yep. Right now, you're taking a passive angle waiting for your team, and now you're opening it up. This is nice. So now that your team's here, we can open it up a little bit. Come for a flank, look for a Deadeye. Nice. This death is fine, I'm going to be honest. I actually don't mind the death. You should win the fight anyway. Yeah, perfect. That was a good death. Repeak 29 HP. It's not even an issue of him repeaking. I mean, yeah, but I want to address the foundational issue, not the, like, at the very end, the micro. Okay. So regrouping. We're on the high ground. Spam out Alari. Nice kill. Reaper's going top. We ignore him. Just ignore him. You spending time aiming for him is so troll. It's actually so troll. Here, good angle. See the Reaper TP. You spend 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 4 seconds doing nothing. Ignore the Reaper. Swing backline. Shoot the Mago. Shoot anybody. Anybody. Actually, anybody. Staring at the window is so troll. He's too far away for you to be able to do anything. And then you coming... I mean, this rotation not bad. It's not bad, actually. Given that your soldier died, I think it's fine. Give up some... Why are we dropping off the high ground? Once again, this doesn't make any sense. Here, you should be able to hear the Mauga. He's shooting in main, so why do we drop? Awareness issue. And now you're just dead. So, okay, fortunately you have a life weaver on your team. And we get caged and we die. Cool. You are not using Silver Bullet enough, by the way. You should be using it. Boom, use it now, then shoot. You need to use it at the start of every single fight. Boom, Silver Bullet. Every time you have it, you should basically be using it. It's way too good. Use it every single time you have it. Boom, use it on Tracer. I don't really care. Just use it on actually everybody. Just spam it. Yeah, they are perfect. Boom, use it again. This angle sucks. The more I play Cassidy, the more I realize that this... Zathis, good to see you. It's just a normal shot plus extra damage. Exactly. That's why you should just spam it. But the more I play Cassidy, the more I think this flank is garbage. It's really far out of your range and it's uphill. And most of the time, good players are not going to be standing in the street. Good players are... This is more of they're actively kiting and you want to catch them in the rotation. It's very rare that you should be making this rotation. The idea of taking the flank is good, but this angle just sucks. I'm going to be honest. Just jump up the jump pad, come here, and like stand on the bus or something. I would do something else. Low ground, but I catch Anna's imply here. Yeah, you'll catch people sometimes, but the higher rank you go, I think the less successful it will be. I'll be in and out. Got a Jeep. Got to keep the green carpet rolling. What rank is this plat? I think Kwame is low masters here. High diamond, low masters. It's definitely not plat. I think Kwame, if you ask me, definitely looks more like a high diamond player. Like he looks like... in a proper place. But it's console. It doesn't really matter. I think console rank versus PC rank is largely the same. I think people are just being dumb in the discourse online. But because everything about this looks good to me. This looks like Masters gameplay. So it's largely the same thing. It's just mechanical failure. You're too wide on this angle, by the way. I wouldn't be this wide. Actually, you know what? They're not playing a dive here. They're just playing Reaper. So the only thing I'll mention about this is because you're swinging the angle so deep. The only problem is that if there's a Reaper TP here, your only rotation out is to roll backwards this way, and you're kind of screwed. Okay? So I actually don't like you standing this far to the right side when that is possible. I would prefer you just stand here, because if you stand here and the Reaper TP's up top, it's easy to kite out. You're not screwed. So I don't like you being this deep on this angle. Okay, you need to identify that you and Soldier are on the same angle. Boom. I like this from you. You see the Soldier's 1 HP? Try to fight the Alari. She drops whatever. I'm unswinging the angle and I'm going main right now. Right now. Especially here, okay? Especially here, I would rotate out. Kwame, you need to teach me how to aim in console. But when you get to mid-master, everyone zims. I've heard bad things. No, don't rotate. I'm gonna be honest, Kwame. You know what? It could be fine, but I would just stand here. Your angle is already good. Given that you dropped, your angle is already really good. Boom, nice shot. Just shoot Malga, shoot Malga. Shoot Malga, shoot Malga, shoot Reaper, shoot Laurie. You would have won, you would have just deadlifted. You would have actually deadlifted. I don't think this play is throw, but I think your angle was so good, you just kind of needed the uptime. And you actually end up losing the engagement because you make the rotation. Why not? Because the angle is already good, guys. You have to think about it. If you're playing Malga right now, if you're playing Malga and a Cassidy is shooting you in the right side, what are you going to do? You're either going to pin in or you're going to turn for the Cass because he's going to do 10 million damage to you. Look, he turns and he sees both hits can here. He just shoots Soldier. You could just be farming him right now or farming the back line, but you make the rotation instead, right? You already have a good angle. We don't need to even, this isn't even a better angle in my opinion. It's only better because the Weaver is here, right? But stuff like this can happen. So I think uptime was way more valuable than chasing the Weaver. I'm gonna be honest, you guys win. You might just barely win here. Yeah, you guys just barely win. This fight's fine. Yeah, you threw like 2 fights. Unfortunately, that last fight you definitely threw. You needed to stay in main and just have uptime because you have to recognize that the angle is already strong. It's already strong. So just shoot him a billion times and you're good. It's a little bit unfortunate that both you and the Soldier were on the angle, but at that point it kind of didn't matter. And then the only other thing I'll mention is I need you to think a little bit more about the enemy team comp and as a result, how you need to adjust your positioning, right? So there are some angles that you take that are just a little bit too deep against a Reaper or against a Malga or against these different heroes. In his defense, he was set up in a good position, but that Shadow was in a weird position. It doesn't really matter. He's not in a good position when the Shadow came through. He's not. This is not a good cast position. Here? Is it here? No, it's the next fight. No. It was that fight. It was that fight. Okay, sorry. I'm losing track. So this fight, this is not a good position. What if they don't fight in the room? Okay, if they fight in main, okay, this is exactly what I'm saying, Kwame. If they fight in main, what is the Malga gonna do? Is he going to pin your backline in a Reinhardt down main, or is he gonna pin the Cassidy that's alone on this left side? What do you think makes the most sense? I think he's gonna pin the Cassidy that's alone on the left side because that's very logical. Okay. So, and that's why I'm saying this is not a good. If you had a Lucio pocket or something, the situation would be different, but you don't. Okay. No one is here to help you. And guys, do we make plays that are contingent on our teammates doing something? No, we don't. We typically don't. Unless you're coordinating with them in voice chat or something like that, you should never make a play that's contingent on your team. Okay. So that makes this positioning just doesn't make any sense for Cassidy. If you're playing Soldier or Sojourn or Ashe, then or Hanzo, anyone with more range, maybe. Because you're playing Cassidy, you want an angle like this. Because if let's say they fight in main, okay, who are they gonna dive? Who's the Malga going on? Nobody. There's literally nobody. Your whole team will be in this area. Maybe someone will be left side, and it'll just be way better for you. So whenever they push up, if you need to kite, just walk down the stairs and then you can roll back this way if you need to. But it's way safer. It's still good range for you and everything is just good. Everything is just good. But yes, I hope that, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, okay, perfect. Sweet. So thank you for the code, Kwame. That was very educational. It looks good. Use it for controller. Your macro looks largely good. There were a few mistakes, but you have the fundamentals down. It's more of a matter of adjusting to the map specifically and the matchup. you're getting to the point where you're going from being a good player, Kwame, to becoming a great player, and it's a little bit of a different ball game. It's a lot more about understanding matchups and map specifics, like specific map positioning, which you will learn over time. You can derive the best map positioning by just using the fundamentals, which you largely understand. So yeah. And then I would also mention to you, Kwame, is put a greater emphasis on understanding risk reward in your engagements. I don't want you fanning the hammer of full HP Malga with your team dead for no reason. Okay, at 10 meter, or at 5 meter range. Okay, we're trolling. Okay, let's not troll. Okay, sounds good. Gargamel, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 codes. Which one do you want me to do? Got it, coach. Sounds good. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Anything? Okay, let's do Gibraltar. I don't think I've done a Gibraltar code, or at least if I have, it was a long time ago. So we'll do Gibraltar. You said didn't play for 5 days. I think we should have lost this game. So let's look. Let's see what's going on here. So on Gibraltar, it's a lot of just stand on this high ground and poke. Don't let them have the high ground. This is another situation where Gibraltar is a lot more about denial than it is about playmaking. Okay, so you're going to, of course, can you playmake from up here? Yeah, you can. You can find like a late rotation here and shoot people in the back. I do it all the time. Or you can, but a really big reason you pick Cassidy is because it's really hard for them to get you off the high ground once you're here. Which is why if you watch pro play, it's very common for Brig to also be played on Gibraltar defense because she can deny high ground. If you had better aim. Yeah. So here, poke out the Diva. So the problem is they're playing Diva, which is going to be kind of a bad matchup. If you're going to go for flanks like this, just make sure you're listening for Diva. Okay, so I would just keep in mind, know where the Diva is, because a good Diva will just hear that you're swinging, boost up, and then you are fried, unfortunately. So I would just make sure you're aware of the Diva. I actually like that you shoot 2 shots and leave immediately, because think about it from risk reward, guys. Gargamel had a window to 2-tap the Ana. He missed. Okay, it happens. I do the same thing. So he unswings. So after he gets those 2 shots in, it's very likely that the enemy Diva or someone is going to realize what's going on and try to make a play, right? We can actually look at this from Diva's perspective. Gargamel shoots once. Look, she looks up, and then I don't know if she knew you ran away or what, but because Gargamel left, he removes any chance that the enemy team or the enemy Diva is going to come up here and dive him. So this is a good rotation out from Gargamel. Even though it looks like he's giving it up early, he's giving it up early because of the matchup. Shoot Sojourn. Honestly, yeah, go back. Perfect. This is good. Just keep in mind, where's Diva? Don't be the dive target. You heard boosters. Now we swing. This is perfect. And you can be greedier here, because they don't have a way to get to you. I would be greedier. I would be greedier. This is a mistake. Someone told me I had too much downtime here. What do you like here? This is fine because you're waiting. You're like waiting for Diva. You hear it go out. Bam, swing. You need to not leave though. Your Diva is the Diva is so far away. Why are you unswinging right now? Yeah, your Hanzo is playing this correctly. And then, yeah, you should be on this angle this whole time. So this was a mistake for sure. And then your Hanzo dies because you can't also shoot the Curie. Yeah, so I needed you to recognize that the Diva was nowhere to be seen. And given the enemy team comp, there's no way for them to capitalize on you being alone on the angle because they have no verticality. So you needed to stay there. And now now you need to flip the map. Once again, the Diva dive is a real threat. Oh, this is a mistake. Here, what you need to do is once you realize that the enemy team has taken all of this space, boom, no one on your team is here. You need to you can maybe greed the high ground a little bit, but you need to come back this way because this is where your team has space right now, right? This is called flipping the map. You need to flip the map, and then play your life, wait for your 2 guys to come back from spawn, and then reswing or take space or whatever. I fall here by mistake. I wanted to hide. Okay. Let me see how that would have panned out. Okay. Yeah, that would have been fine. So you had the right idea. Here, there, you can actually jump up to the high ground from there, by the way. FYI. If you stand here, you can actually jump back up. So dropping here is a mistake. But I understand this is, you accidentally fell off. Yeah, and then we're just kind of screwed. Oh, we live? Wait, what actually happens? She gets D-maxed. Nice shot. Ah, and they cap, alright. Won't experiment. No, the idea was fine. Don't, just because you died in this situation doesn't mean the idea was bad. Okay? Sometimes good ideas don't work. Lived on 1 health. Did he really have 1 health? Let me see. Wow, you actually did have 1 health. That is crazy. That's so sick. But yeah, just because worth the C9, yeah, for the moment, for the clip. Yeah, but basically just because a idea fails doesn't mean it's bad. Stay on high ground. Nice, good shuttle. There's a good rotation. So on second point Gibraltar, the meta of the map is entirely dependent on shuttle. Okay, if you don't know what shuttle is, it's this giant structure here. So if you have people on shuttle, it's really hard for the defenders to make this push safely. Okay, so what you have to do as an attacker is you have to find a rotation to take the high ground, right? Walk through this way and then come shuttle or whatever. And then if the attackers have shuttle, the defenders are most of the time just screwed, right? We all have played Gibraltar games where you can't even walk through this door because the enemies have shuttle control. It's a nightmare. Or you can't walk through this door because shuttle control, like it's just a nightmare. So it's really important that on this map specifically, you don't stagger as you defend this point. But so right now, more than ever, it's really important that Diva doesn't die, that we don't die, that nobody dies here. Because the way you lose Gibraltar second is by dying early, and then they get to take all of shuttle for free. That's how you lose this point really easily. Good, I like that. I like that duel. I like the roll even. Let me check the Deadeye again. Good Deadeye, I like it. How to deal with chip damage? It just chip damage is dependent on the angle. It's dependent on that's a difficult question for me to answer because it's just situational. Are you taking chip damage from a Kiri? Are you taking it from a soldier on top of shuttle? If you're getting outranged consistently on shuttle and you don't have a support, then you don't play on top, you just play here. Just play here. If you do have supports with you, I like playing top shuttle more because it's really hard to clear you. You do that. Okay, grab mini and then rotate out. It should be relatively safe. I guess we'll see. Okay, shoot the Ana. Contest Cassidy. This is sick. Nice. Okay, we just die. Here, you just need to respect the Cassidy. Here, boom, 70 HP, you need to leave. I mean, once again, you have 1 HP. You just committed to this too much. Yeah, diffed. This is just mechanical. Purely mechanical.
Join me. My ultimate is ready to be unleashed. Come to me.
Go back. Cool. Nice shot. Shoot all of these guys. Perfect. Shoot the Orisa. I'm going fast because there's basically nothing else to do. This is his best play. So we stand on the shuttle. We wait for the enemy team to get back. They all come top left. Spam them out. Okay, you take a bunch of damage. Now you leave. We leave. Here I would definitely drop. Boom. Come here and then play here. That is definitely the play I'm making. 200% the play I'm making. Okay, and then I'm not re-swinging a soldier. You ask for heal, that's fine. But this is like, you ask for heal, you get Suzu. Okay, here's the problem. Because you don't drop in the shuttle, what you should be doing right now is dropping in the shuttle, grabbing mini, and standing here. This angle is really good. This angle is like 10% better than this angle, okay? It's, in some situations, it's negligible. Also, in terms of risk reward, the risk, you're going to get outranged by soldier every single time in this position. So here's what ends up happening, okay? Because you're in this angle and you ask for healing, your Kiri TP's off of main. Boom. And she Suzus you, by the way. And your diva die. How does your diva die? Oh, okay. The diva did not die because of you. There's nothing to do with you. I thought this would have been a chain reaction of your diva dying because you asked for Suzu. But yeah, here like reswinging the soldiers doesn't make any sense. So long story short, you need to just drop off shuttle, grab a mini, and then fight the soldier. I actually don't mind this. You just need to flash the floor, not at them. Don't throw it at them. If you watch me throw flashes, most of the time, I throw flashes at the feet. Very rarely do I aim at them unless they're further away. Bad aim, Casper. Well, here I also probably wouldn't have fanned. I hardly ever fan at point blank, and when I do, it like never works out in my favor. But the angle is good. It has you had really good timing on the angle, so this was good. Cool, I like that from you. I like that from you. Shoot the Orisa. Okay, we're back on the angle. This is and this is why people play Cass on defense on this map. He's really strong on defense. It's really hard to deal with you. Even more so last patch or 2 patches ago when he had 225 or 275 HP. Okay, you're just egoing this too much. You're getting outranged, dude. What do you expect to happen? Outranged and that guy's pocketed too. It's a little bit unfortunate you eat a helix, but you need to understand that the soldier keeps coming to this angle. Just play here. You're going to keep dying top if you don't come here. Helix is broke. That is a take. That is a take. For sure. Helix is probably one of the most fair DPS abilities in the game. Helix is extremely fair. It's relatively slow. It does only 120 damage. Compared to other things like Echo Stickies. I probably wouldn't have gone for a Deadeye here. Horror take. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here, I wouldn't have gone for this. I would have actually, I mean, it's unfortunate that I haven't published a roll tech guide, but I actually would roll tech up this. And then I would walk over here and stand on shuttle, is what I would be doing. But I definitely wouldn't, if your ideal was to Deadeye, you definitely don't want to Deadeye from here. You want to be Deadeyeing from here, probably. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's just unfortunate people in the right room. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's okay. It's probably fine. That Deadeye was for Val. Yeah, I understood. I understood. And that's why I think it's okay. Because she's going to fly out. Or at least try to. And that Deadeye makes it a lot more awkward for the Mercy. So I think there's merit to what you're doing. So I'm not going to beat you up for it. But you can obviously notice how much safer this angle feels. It's crazy, right? You're not taking a gajillion damage. There's cover. Every time you reload, you have active cover, right? It's a lot easier to work. So better angle. Fight these guys. The flash is fine to me. Rotation's fine. Good. I killed 3. Yeah, I think you did. I think that I was fine. Your defense would look good, to be honest. I don't think you really had an issue on defense. You could have played slightly more aggressive on first point, and you also needed to flip the map at one point. And those were the 2 issues, like the biggest issues. Also, just, you need to understand risk reward, right? Is standing on top shuttle make any sense when there's a pocketed soldier shooting you? No, it makes literally 0 sense. Okay, so I also need you to understand that. Here, you need to identify that no one is watching this high ground rotation. You need, and your whole team is right here. You need to rotate right now. you need to walk over the bridge right now because you might not have another opportunity. Okay. And being on this side of the map is really garbage for Cassidy. You really want to, where you win is here. This is the winning position. So right now you should see this as an opportunity to rotate and make the rotation. Standing here and shooting these guys is not it. It's not it. Because as you can see here, there's not a lot you can do. So you need to make the rotation earlier. Venture goes in, whatever. Monkey was in. 50 damage would make difference. I don't really care, to be honest. I really don't care. Because here's the thing. Let's see. Okay, here we are. Boom, whatever. Come to the angle. Yeah, they're all full HP. It's not really like, let's say they were low HP. You can't, okay, in Overwatch, there's a mechanic where if the enemy's health bar is low enough, you can see their health bar. It's a newer mechanic. It was added over the last year or so. If they're below half health or something like that, you can see their health. And none of them are low, so you don't see their health, so it's not worth shooting them. Bridge was free once I saw the Orisa. Yeah, I think you needed to rotate. I don't think standing here is good. I mean, it's good because this is a good like macro. Your setup is good, but I think there's a better play, which is just to continue rotating. I like the flash, by the way. That flash is good. I like you setting up here. Okay, you misclicked. I think you thought you had the perk there. Whatever. This is all good. I like you. I even like you starting on the bottom. Scratching your nose. Okay, it happens. It happens. Good flash. Nice job. Unfortunate. Nice. Okay, now you need to, now that you understand the fight is won, immediately we're rotating top right. Immediately. No, don't waste any time doing other things. Like here, okay, now rotate top right. Yep, nice. Did we just win? We just won here. This is unlucky. I don't really care about that death. You made it the best position. That was the best decision possible. You got unlucky by more orb and died. So, whatever. Okay, rolling off the high ground is clearly a mistake. Okay, now that you rolled off the high ground, your best play is not to... You can swing the angle, but don't walk forward here. You want to come here. Yeah, I don't like you being so close to the corner. I'd rather you be like here because are you probably gonna die here? Yeah, but I think the angle is better. I don't know. This position is awkward. Maybe this is fine. Because I wonder, in the primal, do you still rotate? You might actually just still rotate, to be honest. Because you're just not gonna win. Yeah, I think you still have to rotate. I think here you shouldn't have even peeked, man. I'm being honest. You know what? It's not, the risk reward is like in your favor actually, so I think it's fine. I think this plays fine. Because you can just like, if you flash the venture there's actually a really good chance they die. So I think rotating is fine. I think you could have stayed on the floor too. You know, after the primal kind of comes to an end, rotating is actually better. So I think you had almost perfect timing here. I don't really know where this Deadeye is, to be honest with you. The fight's lost and we Deadeye, that doesn't make any sense. So don't Deadeye there. Shoot, man, just rotate. Yeah. Cool. So here you needed to rotate earlier and then you C9 them, really? Okay, you C9 them. Okay. That's a good, I mean, it's good you identified that they overextended way too much. Should I drop to Kitsune? No. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. If a Kitsune forces you to be in a worse position, don't do it. Most of the time. Most of the time, it's not really worth taking a worse position to be in Kitsune. I mean, of course, it's going to depend, right? There are some situations like King's Row 3rd, you want to be in the Kitsune, but that's also because there's no other good positions for you. So I would largely ignore the Kitsune unless it's in a good position for you. Or the enemy team is kiting and they can't deal with you or whatever. What you did was correct, which was swing right side and then go shuttle. Because the shuttle is like how you win. I'm going Ash in Gibraltar. Forcing Cass in Gibraltar wasn't nice. Cass is fine. Cass, the only time Cass is bad, it's just attack. You can play him on defense, but attack, it can be awkward. It's the only thing. Okay, that was Gargamel. Let's do Jared now. Jared, if you're still here, we'll take a look at your VOD on Ilios. And then, because I know Jared popped in earlier. And then we'll do the rest of Gargamel's VODs afterwards. I think, yeah, Gargamel's like 3 more VODs we can take a look at as well. Okay, SuperNiceGuy. So here we roll out on instantly crosshair placement issue. We need to get our crosshair off of the floor, Jared. I need you to aim at head level at all times. Let me just do a quick check. Okay. Okay. I'm just checking for crosshair placement issues. Sorry. Okay, it looks like it's just here. You might be holding tab or something. So, okay, cool. Just making sure. Because if we're aiming at the floor, I would have stopped the VOD and moved on. So this is fine. I don't like this rotation at all. This side of the map sucks for Cass. You want to be... Okay, because think about it. If you're on this side of the map, what are you going to do here? What's your rotation from here? What rotation do you have? You have none. There's no rotation. The only rotation you have is the point. And do you really want to be on point as Cass? Not really. It can be okay if they're playing a brawl tank and they're walking up main. You can poke them out from here. It's like, okay. But I propose to you an alternative, which is play here. And what you do is you poke out for the mini room. You get mini room control. And what's cool about this is that now you have a bunch of rotations available for you. You can go for a really long rat play up the staircase. You can walk into the mega room and fight somebody if you need to. You can shoot them on the high ground from here. It's really strong. You also deny them this side of the map. Right? So it's a lot about area denial. When you are on this side of the map at all, you don't really deny anything, right? Because nobody's going to be standing here anyway. If they are, it's because they're making a rotation to somewhere. Okay, it's not because the location itself is good. But if you stand here and you fight for this mini room is good because there's a bunch of cover and a mini, of course, right? So if you control this position, there's not going to be a good way for the enemy team to make rotations safely, right? They can't take space safely from you guys. So you need to be on the right side of the map. For sure. I would not be here at all. So instant issue, macro issue. And you can clearly see what is there to do on this angle. Nothing, so you have to rotate back. So you lost like 20 seconds downtime on the left side of the map. Right, like right now, what should be happening is you should have seen the monkey dive, then actually turn for backline or set up a different play. Here in this situation, you wouldn't have actually caught anything, but that's what you would traditionally look for. And now we're dead. Well, let me see. How did you actually die here? Here, you need to realize where your team is. So here's how it works, okay? So when the enemy dive happens... there's a type of push-pull basically that happens here. So enemy dive notice your team. Okay, your team is set up relatively passively. Your monkey dives, their team dives. Notice how your team is moving backwards, right? Everyone is kind of giving space so they can just live. In dive situations, you either want to kite with them or you want to push the aggression, right? Kind of do what your monkey is doing and go further in. Okay. Sorry, you're back. Okay, Jared, the only thing you missed is don't come left side. on first point or on the first fight of Lighthouse, you need to come right side. You need to come right side and deny this space. Because once the enemy dive happens, you can either look to make this wrap play and shoot their backline if they drop, or just on the high ground in general, or you can look for this play to live. Okay, but you don't end up making that play, so you get stuck in bad timing. Right here, you don't actually identify that your team is giving up space, so now you are the dive target. Because if we zoom out, unfortunately, ooh, let's look at that. You're the furthest guy forward. Okay. So you needed to identify this is the situation and kite out, but because you don't do it in time, you're the dive target, and now you're going to die. So in the monkey matchup, it's all about not being the dive target. Or if you are the dive target, you're with teammates, right? You're with your Brit, you're with your Kira, you're with someone else. Because that is going to dramatically improve your chance of living. Okay, let me pull something up real quick, by the way. Cool. And then move over here. Sick. Okay. Here, I just don't like this angle, right? This angle is more of an angle you want to take in the mid fight, not so much in the like at the start of fights, for reasons like this. It's easy to get stuffed. Also, it's really easy for the enemy dive tank to realize that you're isolated and then you just get dove. In my opinion, your better angle is play with your team, because this is what you want. You want this, and then you want to swing this as a flank. This is what you want. You don't really want this, because you're just going to get stuffed, right? Think about, where's the enemy team looking? Well, they're all looking main anyway. It's relatively cheap for them to look at you here, given that your whole team is here, right? It's not extremely inconvenient. What's a lot more inconvenient? If you're peeking at this door frame, right? This is way more inconvenient for them, because they have to turn their camera way more. So I just don't like this from you. I think it's okay. I think is it throw? No. Okay. But I think there's a better play available. I also think this is high risk, right? You can get dove by monkey here, but largely fine. I think there's just a more preferable angle. If you find success with something like this a lot, then by all means. But I think this won't be very consistent. The principle of taking the angle on the flank is good, though. So don't change how you think. I just, in this specific situation. Okay. Shoot the monkey. I like your rotations, by the way. This is all good. Nice flash. Don't like the roll. Don't like the roll. Once again, roll is an extremely defensive cooldown. You know what? You probably aren't getting dove here. It's fine. Roll for uptime. It's fine. I think the chance of you getting dove there is really low. So, fine by me. Here, you're matching your team's intentions. Bubble went down, so it's very likely you're going to start kiting. Your tank is going to start kiting, so you should look to kite too. As you can see, he jumped out. So now we're out. Oh, he actually jumped back in. Okay, he is primal. Okay, so hopefully he pops primal here and doesn't just die. He does. So this primal's really stupid, but whatever. Force primal for basically nothing. And then here, we just rotate to the wrong side of the map. Okay, so here what you need to do is kite this. You shouldn't be kiting back this way, though. You should be kiting back this way. Because once again, what makes Cassidy strong on this map is basically fighting for this whole lane of the map. So, but you, if we unpause it, you back up into main, and then now you just kind of, you're not really playing to your hero's strengths. So we should have been kiting back this way, and you probably would have inadvertently dodged the blade. So just keep in mind. Yeah, he was super aggressive. I don't really know what his play was with the primal. Didn't really make any sense. From cage we rat. What do you mean from well we cage? Yeah, I think yeah, you rat around this like mini room is like your best. This is the best play on this map. It's really good. There's probably footage of me playing Ilios. Let's actually see if we can find it, because I kind of want to just demonstrate what I'm talking about here. Firefox, do I have it open? Okay. Let's go to Twitch. Let's go to Once Told Till. Oh my god, I'm live. Oh my god, he's live. Oh my god, he's live. Okay, okay. Oh my god, I can hear myself recursively. Oh my god, I can hear myself recursively. This is the nightmare. It's a nightmare. Okay, I fixed it. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry if you started exploding at the same time as me. We're gonna go to videos and we're gonna look for my gameplay. So there's this one. That's coaching. That's coaching. That's coaching. Here's gameplay as well. Let me see if there's more. That's gameplay. That's gameplay. That's coaching. Okay, let's just fly through these. If we can't find him immediately, then I'll ignore it. But Nubani, Nepal, Rialto, you guys can't really see it, so you just have to trust me here. Hollywood, Oasis, Rialto again, Circuit, Samoa, and then I think that's Lijiang. Yeah, that's Lijiang. Okay, no Ilios. Here. Hollywood. I don't really know what's going on here. Man, who uses Firefox? I use Firefox specifically for stream purposes. Because I was having issues. I normally use Brave, but I was having some issues with it picking up the correct window on OBS. And I was too lazy to like do it every single time. So, because I have like 10 instances of it open at any given moment, basically. Wow, do I just like never play Ilios? Oh, I think I found one. Okay, I did. Oh no, this is Esperanza. Oh no, here it is. Okay. So this is M1, but let's see how I play this. Okay, guys. You will start to hear me twice, okay? So just gonna keep that in mind. Oh my god, also this is like really big. Wait, what? Ignore the fact that I just said that. Okay. So let's go to the beginning of this. Brave signed me on to Google, so I just went to Chrome. I totally understand. That's how it goes. Wait, when am I gonna get the nerf weapon this game, bro? Is new hero ult a bubble? All right. Tale of the past. Shut the hell up. Okay, so I roll out top because the reason you roll out top is because you have more options. So whenever you go up top, you can now make a better decision on if going bottom is better or going top is better. There's sometimes where you'll just know that going bottom is better, especially when they're playing dive comps or something like that, where going top is not going to be really that good for you, or if you're getting consistently outranged. That's you in chat. That is you in chat. That is you. That is you. So here, I drop because I want to contest the lane, right? It's really important. I saw that the Reaper was playing here, and I know that the Wu Yang's playing here. I want to contest them to make sure that they can't use this to rotate and choke out my team, basically. Okay, so I come down here to fight the Wu Yang. I miss a few shots, which is unfortunate. And then look, this is exactly what you should be looking to do, by the way, Jared, is if you're losing the fight, you kite back this way. And notice how it's impossible for the Wu Yang to kill me. He used wave, and he still wasn't able to kill me. And I get out. I don't get out here, but it's expensive. He had to use all of his cooldowns to come get me. So, did I lose the altercation? Of course. I mean, not of course, but yes, I did. But there was a chance I won, which was I just missed 2 shots on him. I should have hit. If I hit one more headshot here, I just win, but I missed. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, so that's good hygiene for how to play that. So then I come top to get the monkey off the high ground. And then I think I go back to the right side of the map. Okay, no, I poke from here. Poke out the monkey. Fight the Ana. Notice I'm not trying to peel monkey. I'm trying to kill someone in backline. Fuck Wu Yang. I've been said that. And notice how I'm on this side of the map, right? Because this gives me more playmaking. I can see the monkey. I spam out monkey from here, and I have really good cover. It's hard to clear me. I shoot the Reaper, right? You can kind of, I'm not going to go super far into this, but you can kind of see why playing on this side of the map is preferred. I can catch his Wu Yang in rotation, right? If I just was better mechanically, he would have died faster, right? It's just better. It's just better, right? I mean, I don't know how much I need to demonstrate, but it's just better. But yeah, let's go back to Overwatch. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. So yeah, you really want to rat around that right building, that right mini building. Like here, we don't want to be here. We just don't want to be here. It's not good for Cassidy. Yeah, and you died. You died a Widow. Here's what should have been happening is like, I mean, when Widow Visor comes out, you should be like here and then like poke here, poke out the bird, poke out the monkey, and then rotate back this way. Is what we should be doing right now. But we don't do that. Coach is so sad. Just imagine a sad worm emoji replacing my current PNG. Okay, I don't like us rolling here. Why do we roll? Don't like the roll. But other than that, it's fine. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I actually don't even like any of this. The reason you feel like you have to do this is because you keep going to the middle of the map. So of course it's gonna feel bad. So, like, I only do this when fighting for the right, when fighting for mini is bad. Is he a Tracer main? No, who was that? I actually forgot. Was that Kwame? It might have been Kwame. Or maybe it was someone else. There was someone that, I forgot who the Tracer main guy was. But anyway, you should be coming here, fight for this, because here's what should be happening right now. Your whole team is brawling on point. Sick. You know what that lets me do? Flank this way, and boom, I can shoot everybody in the back. Shoot everybody back. And if I could get dove by monkey, okay, am I gonna die? Yeah. But he's gonna be out of the fight, and then my team just gets to zap everybody in the back line, and it's just free. So I would have preferred that play. This play is like okay, but it's better than running it down main, but I think there were better alternatives. Nice job. Okay, then we win on ruins, I guess. So you have, one thing I will mention, Jared, is you have good fundamentals, right? You understand rotations, you understand angling. I just need you to get a little bit more specific on Ilios, right? Think about what angles do I need to deny or lock down as Cassidy, okay? Where on the map is going to be best for me, okay? So how do you, okay, so if we want to apply that frame of thought to ruins, we need to think to ourselves, okay, what angles would Cassidy be good to lock down? And on ruins, there aren't really a lot of good answers, okay? It all kind of comes back to you just kind of playing on plat here, because the problem is if you come left side, it's really isolated on this map. There's a lot of really awkward covers, so it's hard for your supports to be able to keep you up. And although there is a mega, you have to commit and there's no cover on this angle, right? Other than like these pillars, right? I'm talking about when people push you like this, there's not a way to rotate out easily. So this side of the map is kind of awkward. This side of the map, you will get outranged. That's all this kind of comes down to. So resultantly, the best play for Cassidy is basically just like stay on here. Just stay here and shoot everybody. That's all it is. It's a main botter's wet dream to play Ilios Ruins. So just stand around the pillar in main and you're largely fine. If you watch me play, I basically never do these column side rotations for exactly this reason, right? You come to the angle, which is good idea to angle, but then you get jumped by monkey. Now you demand pocket and nothing happened. You didn't deny them any space. They still have the space and it didn't change anything, right? So you can just do the same thing by just kind of main botting on the box. Like right now, I'm gonna be so for real with you. Just jump on this, and stand here and shoot the monkey. And then here's the thing as well. What's so nice about this is, let's say you take a bunch of damage. Cool. Roll backwards. Now no one can see you. Honestly, thought I heard you say pillars was the best place to play one time. Okay, I probably did say that, Jared. I probably did. But that was very likely 4 months ago. It was a long time ago. So the reason I changed my mind is I studied a pro named Kyo. He's a French tier 1 player. And he he was rank 1 for a long time, 2 seasons ago. And I basically copied his Cassidy playbook because it just made a lot of sense. So the reason I probably said that, Jared, is because the idea of playing pillars is good, but in execution, you can't actually hold this space very well. You can go, so yeah, sometimes you will go bridge, like you'll stand here just to poke it out. But it's the same thing on this angle as well. You like stand here to poke it out. The only time you'll actually come pillar side is when you guys are pressing an advantage, really, as in the fight is winning. Or it's like you'll play pillar side because the enemy team is coming up and then you'll back up through pillar side, right? As in you already had point cap, so you're poking their walk up and you come back this way. I think on first fight specifically, your best play is just stand on bricks here and shoot. So, Jared, that is my fault. But I have changed my mind on Ilios. Ruins, and specifically. Nice flash, nice shots. It's not like you're making any egregious mistakes. Like, what you did here was fine. The only thing that I would have changed about all of your playmaking here is I just wouldn't have done that initial walk up to try to take space, to be honest. I think standing on bricks is better in that specific situation. Spam out the monkey. Very important that we poke the walk up here. Very, very, very important. So poking the monkey. You hear the Genji, so you're a little bit worried. And then in this indecision, bridge deny the pillar cover. Yes, yes. So, okay, so that is true. What Gargamel is saying is true. Sometimes in the fights, you will have situations where the enemy team just doesn't contest bridge at all, or they don't have a way to outrange you. Like if they're playing Tracer or Genji and then they're both ignoring you, you can sometimes just come bridge and just shoot pillar angles like this and poke out the enemy team. I'm sure I've done it on stream before. It's largely circumstantial though. Once again, right, what I'm trying to teach you guys is what are the fundamentals and the principles you need to understand, and then it's up to you to figure out when to break the rules, okay? Because sometimes in Overwatch, I mean all the time in Overwatch, the rules, playing purely off of fundamentals isn't enough, right? You need to adapt to the situation. Okay, but what I want to point out here is because you turn for this guy and you're not able to find him, the monkey here is, he has full health as he walks forward and jumps. He should be having no armor right now. You should have been shooting him before he makes the jump happen. So that was the cost of looking for the Genji there. I don't think it's necessarily bad to look for the Genji because there is some chance that he dives you, but just understand it incurs costs. Okay, shoot Genji. Here, you need to make a rotation. So here, shoot the Genji, boom, shoot monkey, boom, shoot monkey bubble, shoot bubble. Once you see bubble go down, just be like, okay, this is a good opportunity to rotate. So you're gonna roll back, fan, roll back. Do you have roll? No, you don't. Okay, just fan, reload, fan, come back this way, and then get back on bricks would be the play. Because now you're stuck on point, and you're very likely just gonna die. Okay, you don't die. You very fortunately get support pocket. Shoot Genji. All right, we're on a good angle. Poke the monkey. Force out primal. Perfect. I like that you take the gunslinging perk here because you need fan the hammer for bubble. So perfect. Good Deadeye. Really good Deadeye. You zone out him walking forward with the blade. How good of a cast map is Ilios? It's winning. It's winning for sure. Every control point should be, for you guys, like 65% win rate. You should be winning 2/3 of the time, to be honest with you. On control. As long as you watch my videos. The average cast player will be winning like 50%, if not lower. That's because the average cast player doesn't understand how to play Cassidy. Control is deathmatch. Also, the thing about control is there's generally a lot of angling happening. Right? There's a lot of and control is designed to be relatively close quarters, right? If you think about the problematic Cassidy maps, it's maps that have really big range and no rotations available, like Circuit Royale, like Havana. Village, yeah, village is probably one of the most awkward points for Cassidy in the game, as well as I think that's about it. This map as well. This map is, I mean, but this map is more of just play Cassidy as a raw neutral hero and less of a playmaking, angle taking hero, right? Ilios is more of just do a ton of damage in main. Well, ruin specifically, right? But yeah. But control should be generally winning for you. I think that's it, right? Is I watched all done? Let's get that eye. And then you guys just win, right? Yeah. Okay. Jared, no. Which one is village? I'll show you. But no glaring issues other than you don't really know how to play Lighthouse. That was the only issue I saw there. Oh, did I play Nepal at all? Yeah, I did. This is village. This is village. So, I mean, I can just, now that we're here, I can just show you how to play it. Might as well. So in village, you always want to roll out top. Oh, I did this on stream. This is on stream. But anyway, on village, you want to go top right. But if you know you're going to be late going top right, try to go in kitchen. And then the reason I turn here is because the ball, it's just like a weird situation where the ball, I could catch the ball. But yeah, oh, I won't go through the whole thing. But basically, in a nutshell, how you play village is the meta game on this is that you pretty much always want to have someone on this side of the map. Very, very, very important. As in, like, whenever you're attacking, you want like a 1-4 or a 4-1 or like a 4-1 setup. If you're having 5-man main, you're very likely going to lose. Very, very likely going to lose. Because you will have no, once you're on point like this, you're just gonna have no space control. Is the problem. I thought my Wu Yang's name was Jihad. No, it's Jihao or Jihao or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's the problem. So once again, on the metagame on this map, in my opinion, okay, other coaches might tell you different. This is just my solo queue opinion. As long as you have one guy on the other side of the map, wherever opposite of where your team is taking, it's really winnable for you guys. The only thing that sucks is Cassidy's not really good at being this one guy ever on this map because this rotation sucks and this rotation can suck depending on the enemy team comp. So Village is the worst Cassidy map in my opinion compared to Sanctum and Shrine. I think what do I play? Okay, Shrine. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember shit talking the enemy cast, which was my fault. But on Sanctum, the metagame on Sanctum is that once you roll out on cast, basically what you want to do is there will be once you guys roll out of spawn, you need to see where your ally DPS is going. If your ally DPS is another hit scan, you need to be the guy going right side. Okay. If your ally DPS is a flex DPS like a Tracer or a Genji, let them go right side. Okay. But if your ally DPS is a Sojourn and they're coming right side for whatever reason, then you just need to go left. But the metagame on this point is that you have someone on this right side for the right side control. It's really strong. Kasha stands on the top of the point on the high ground on village, right? Yeah. I'm not going to look into Anox's gameplay. It was a whole debacle. Once you have the point capped on this point, what you do is you stand here on this bridge and you stuff this choke. You help your team stuff the choke if they're trying to walk on high. And then you listen to and you be aware of anybody trying to come main. And then if anybody comes main, it's your job to either stand here and shoot them or rotate to this door and shoot them. Share the code? Okay. Nepal. Whoops. Nepal. Wait, I forgot how to do it. It's share, isn't it? Hold on. Nepal. Share. PM1RHN is your code. I'll put it in chat. Hold on. Gotta open up my chat real quick. Boom. It's in chat now. But all right. So That's that. Let's move on to the next code from, we'll do a, I think we're just on Gargamel codes now. What, how long are we at? We're at an hour 30. Well, we've kind of gone through some short codes here. We will do Busan from Gargamel. And keep rolling. Okay. Where are we? Okay, you're on a team with Ass Eater, which is great. Big fan of that. Okay, don't come this way. Why are we coming to this left side of the map? This is garbage. Don't like this at all. You said I tried a new angle in first round and I think I'll keep coming to this side. Do not. Are you trying to rage bait me? No, don't come to this side of the map. I promise you it's bad. I promise you it's bad. Here's the problem, okay? So once you're on this side of the map, this flank sucks. You play here, okay? If they're playing any kind of dive tank, you're just dead, okay? Because you can't, this rotation out, look at how much cover you have. Wow, you have literally 0 cover. You have this wall here, but that's it. It's really easy for them to rotate and kill you, okay? Can you stand here and shoot people? Yes, you can. But here's the problem. If your whole team is on this side of the map, which they are, notice your whole team is like this. This lets the enemy team make a rotation like this to flank you guys, and you're going to be screwed. You're just going to be screwed. This rotation is really strong. They did. Okay, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see the course of action. And you killed them? Great. Well, you're also mercy pocketed, so... Okay, cool. But here's, like, this just isn't it. It's not it. This is, like, this is also, a lot of this is going to be out of your effective range, right? A lot of people are going to play drum. You're not going to be able to do anything about it, right? You can go for this flank as well. So if you go for this flank, you know, whatever, I'll commend you. But you should really be preferring playing drum side. Really, really. These fights are really strong for Cassidy. You can deny the angle really easily. It has really good angles to point. Also, the flanks from here are really good as well. You can flank out this window, which I do all the time, and flank backline. And then you can flip the map from there. There's a lot of, like, really interesting gameplay options you have. So I don't like playing on this side of the map at all. And like at all. So you're playing merge a pocketed cast into a Roadhog, which is cool. Okay, let's watch how the Venture dies, guys. How does this Venture die? They come left side, now they wrap. Okay, they die because you just counter Venture. Okay, unfortunate. And you're hard pocketed. So cool. Nice kill. So great job. Unfortunate for them. Yeah, they have a bad matchup. Fortunate for you. Fortunate for you. Yeah. But here now we're on point. You kill the soldier because you're hard pocketed. So this is kind of like an issue of mercy pocket. If you consistently play this side of the map, I promise you, you will not have results. So let's see this. So soldier swings wide, which you should never do with soldier because soldier does not have a combat roll or a slide. So he's making a mechanical error, but we have good crosshair placement and he's just removed from the game. Okay, so yeah, so he made an error there and just got picked for no reason. So now the Roadhog's on this side of the map. This roll is bad. Why are we rolling here? This is not time sensitive. You don't need to be there right now. It's not like the fight is already happening. Rolling this angle is bad. Looked at like now we're stuck between a soldier. They had Lucio. They could have sped you. Okay, then if they're gonna speed you, why are we like you shouldn't be rolling this way, you should be rolling this way. You should be gaining distance. Unless you think they're gonna like you can have a flank. Okay, let's say they have Lucio speed and they speed on you. Okay, then you're just gonna run this way, and then what? I guess you would just turn around, is what you would do. You're learning the angle. Okay. Well, I'm trying to tell you the fundamental, like how you would play this fundamentally. This doesn't really make any, like, it fundamentally doesn't really make any sense. Now you're stuck between this guy. Like, it's not a good position. Yeah, now you're stuck. Like this death, it could have been prevented if you just played the right side of the map. You would have been able to isolate and 1v1 the soldier if you played the right side of the map. I think you're best. Also, I think what you probably should have done here is, okay, if we are playing here, whatever, you need to poke this walk up. Very important that you poke their walk up. So here, you see the hog, you see him go left, you know he's very likely going to come left side. Very, very likely. He's going to come clear you. So you need to be standing here right now to shoot them in the walk up and then just roll backwards. I think that would have been better. Do they have speed? Yeah, they have speed. But being here is like honestly just as bad, if not worse. Because now you don't really know everything that's happening. You don't know if it's 3 people or 5 people or 2 people or what. You just know it's Lucio Hog. And from here, there's no good rotations. From here, at least your rotation is back into cover, right? There's some level of cover here. So I don't even think you play the angle correctly. I mean, you just said you're learning the angle. But if you were going to play that angle, I think you need to poke the walk up. I think giving it up and then just kind of getting stuck in this situation there's just no way to win at this point. And then I don't like the roll and whatever. Good shot on Lucio. I mean, if the soldier wasn't there, it would be optimal. But of course, there's going to be DPS there. Okay, if I was coaching the enemy team, what would I tell them? You need to have one guy on the angle always. Always have a guy on the angle. And would you look at that? They have a guy on the angle. They would have had a guy here, or maybe it would be a flanker or something. But the enemy team is playing this correctly. What's the difference between volume 7 and 3 Windows 10? I don't really know what you mean by that. Volume of, like, version of Windows? Or like audio volume? I don't really know what you're talking about. I should just ignore the soldier. No, you should fight the... Well, if you went right side, you would be fighting the soldier, is what I'm saying. I think that's fine. TP fine. Oh, roll behind? My PC always asks which one when I restart. I'll be honest, I don't know, Jared. That would be a Google type of question. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of this is just your team doing well and you're hard pocketed. I don't think that angle is not consistent. I mean, if you want to try it, go ahead, but I promise you it's not going to work out consistently. I promise you. It's only good when like your whole team is going left side, like going drum side, so you have no space control other than drum, but even then you still kind of want to be drum side as Cass. Okay. Did we peek right side at all? Let me see. So here we come out. Boom. Check right. Yes, just... We'll experiment like midtown angle. Okay, try it out. Let me know how it works out, but I just don't think it's good. Here. Boom. Shoot them here. Shoot them here. Boom. Jump on the box. I understand it's Hanzo, so I don't really blame you for just giving up the angle. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't like it. I honestly... Yeah, it's okay. Giving it up is fine. This is good. This is good. I would definitely drop for hazard here. Did my tank drop? Oh, never mind. My tank is down there fighting the hog. I understand. So this is fine. Yeah, that's fine. Reverse the tank angle. Yeah, you did that perfectly. That rotation was great. Okay, now we just play on the top here. Unfortunately, get hooked. Whatever. I don't really care. Just don't get hooked. That is all that is. Okay. Nice shots. Okay, they have no cooldowns because they're kiting, so that Deadeye is actually good in this situation. So I actually like that. It's all fine. Stay up top here. Just spam down the main. On Busan, main botting is not that bad. It's also very fortunate the enemy team is playing Roadhog, because it's quite easy to pressure him out. Because whenever he heals, he has a lot of downtime, so he has no pressure, so you can just shoot him more. Good rotation. This is all fine. Go back. Yeah, you just... This is just maybe a little bit deep. You didn't peek the right angle for when the hog hook. I think all of what you're doing is fine. This just don't roll forward because you don't have flash. If you had flash, then I'd say roll forward, but you just use flash there, so don't roll. This is all this is. Don't roll forward here because you need it to get backwards. Hazard left. No, it's literally nothing to do with hazard leaving. It's you use roll incorrectly. You needed to like you rolled forward when you didn't have flashbang, so the chance of you killing that carry is actually quite low. Did hazard leaving also make a difference? Yeah, but we could have played that differently. I would just deadeye. I would have just deadeyed the Maga there. This is also a good deadeye. Okay. Don't drop. Don't drop here. Don't drop. You have to stay up top. This is game... Dropping is game losing. You have to stay up top. Because the problem is, if you drop, now the enemy team can take icon for free. Like this... I mean, if this Genji was a Cassidy right now, it's actually extremely game losing for your team. So you just can't drop. How do you carry the fight now? Genji will... Yeah, the point is to get Genji to annoy... You want Genji to annoy you. You want him to. If you lose that duel, I would have been like, whatever, go next. Just as I have when you got... You know how you got Roadhog hooked? And I was like, whatever? It would have been the same situation. You need to be up top. You can't carry from here. The only reason you kill the Genji... I mean, you kill the Genji because he also misplays. But you just can't carry from this angle. There's no carrying possible from bottom. You need to go to... You need to be on top to look for either a deep flank or something. But you dropping here, you lost the game because you dropped here. I'm not even joking. This drop was actually game losing. Because here's what would have happened. Boom, you stay up here. Shoot the Reaper, force Wraith, he dies. Fight the Genji. Then it's a 50-50 chance. Your Mercy actually probably would have jumped up and healed you. You shouldn't roll in the stairs. It doesn't... I don't care if you roll in the stairs or whatever. You just shouldn't drop. I care about the macro issues. This roll is fun. Like, I don't really care. You just shouldn't drop. It doesn't make any sense. You need to be up there to deny the angle from them. And also, if you do take a fight, you just need to win the fight. So it comes down to. But that's Overwatch. Overwatch, at the end of the day, if you make the most optimal plays, you still need to just win fights. So I would have rather you fought the Reaper or the Genji or whoever. You would have never seen me drop there. You would have never seen Lip drop there. You would have never seen any pro player drop there. The high ground is just way too good. I don't like this flank either. Here on main. Okay, you just have the wrong rollout. We should never be walking main here. You should always be walking left side. On first fight, you should always be walking left side. Walk left side, see what comp they're playing. Because you want to deny this angle. You go there 90. Why do you go here now then? Okay, so you autopiloted. So don't autopilot. Or if you autopilot, make sure you go left side. So this is a mistake. So I'll let you off the hook on this. But your play should not be to go, honestly, to flank like this. Your play should be to jump up this little planter up top here, and then play this angle. If you are gonna come right side, this angle is your best angle. Everything's in your effective range. It's really hard to clear you. If you have to kite, you roll backwards and drop off the high here. It's really hard to kill you. But I wouldn't be coming for this flank. I think coming for this flank is bad because you just have way too much downtime and as a result, it lets them take a ton of space for free. Do you have a chance to catch somebody? Yeah. But honestly, especially when you're playing the hit scan and you have someone like a Reaper on your team, you kind of just need to spam main. Especially when you're pocketed, right? So I don't really like the flank here. I would have preferred you just stay on the high ground and do a bunch of damage. Okay. Go wide right. Okay, we need to set up on the high ground. So you have two options on this map. The Mercy spooked you. It's whatever. You have two options on this map. You can either stand here and poke them as they come out, or you can stand like here and deny this angle. It's just going to depend on the situation. And this situation, I would probably stand on this side of the map because giving up this deep side, given that the enemy team is playing Roadhog, Reaper, Ash, is not really that important, right? I want to contest this side of the map more when they have something like a Tracer, more when they have something like a Genji, stuff like that that want these flanks, but it doesn't really matter that much in this situation. So I would err on the side of just standing on the high ground. But this is fine. This is fine as well. But I don't think there's anything wrong with this play. I like the Deadeye. Good Deadeye. He doesn't have Wraith, so he can't get out. Wow, you almost die there. Mercy had left you with 2 HP. Okay. Deny the rotation. This is exactly what I'm talking about, by the way, guys. This is why you want to play here. Because you can do stuff like this. As they try to push forward, you just stuff them in the choke. And sometimes it even leads to kills like it does here. It's really good. It's really good. Does this end? No, they get a flip here. Nice shot. Roll for uptime. You're not going to get dove, so that's fine. That roll's fine. You're too far. There. You know the Mao goes low, and you're too far away. Don't rotate here preemptively. Don't rotate here preemptively. Especially not on the floor. If you're going to do this, for whatever reason, jump up here. You need to be on this high ground. You need to be on the high ground. Why are we on the floor? Doesn't make any sense. I was expecting a touch. Yeah, but if you were expecting a touch, you're just doing it from the wrong spot. You need to do it from here. Do it from here. Because then you can just drop if you need to drop. There's a drop. Yeah, this is really bad. Because now they all get to walk into choke for free, basically. Not for free, because your team is there. Yeah, but you're not there to poke them on the walk up. They need you to poke them on the walk up. Yeah, so any chance you could have got a kill was lost because you went for that check. I honestly just, unless you have evidence that they're going to do that, then sure. But honestly, I'd rather you stay in main and then just be like, oh, someone touched from the side and then go. They used ults. I don't really care if they use ults. You still make the wrong macro decision. I think you should have just been on the high ground. This is just too early, by the way, Gargamel. I actually don't mind this, but once again, when you're making a rotation, just check where your team is. Check where your team is. Yeah, I don't really think you saw it. You had the right intention, but you just kind of read it wrong. Because your team ends up going high ground here. And then now you're on the angle, and you're just too early. So it's a little bit unfortunate. There's a very, out of all the mistakes you made, there's a very high chance I would have made this mistake. So I don't really, I understand you had the right hygiene in looking through the wall, but it's just a little bit unfortunate, to be honest. Yeah, your Mercy needs to pocket you. I don't really know what she's doing. This is Masters. What rank are you, Gargamel? Here, you need to rotate his plot. Gargamel, you need to go wide like this. Yeah, and because you don't rotate, you get caught by Reaper. Like, and here's the thing, guys. Good positioning gets lucky all the time. If you rotated here, like, so this is a situation where your hazard is basically screening for you. So he is occupying space and basically putting up a fortress. So what you should be doing is taking the space that he's allotting you and get to a better position, right? A better position in this case would be here. You need to be here right now because then you can look for this wrap or like some kind of flank play. And if you did that, you either would have forced the Reaper to TP onto you, which is a cooldown that he no longer has, and you would have time to react to that, or you would have just outright dodged the Reaper and instead he'd be shooting your hazard. So then if that happened, you would have been afforded the opportunity to go for a plank like this. I mean, it's albeit risky, but you would be afforded the opportunity to make a flank play and maybe do something. So, yeah, I was about to say you should just deadeye him. So fortunate you get pinned here, but the idea was fine. Also, you need to aim for a headshot. Try to be a little bit more conscious about hitting head there. Did we see 9? Oh no, we see 9. So here, how was that? I think you just got double pocket. Really, your biggest mistake, I'm not even, unfortunately, Gargamel, it's you dropping off this high ground. You dropping off this high ground is like egregiously, like game losingly bad. Egregiously bad. You just can't do this. You really cannot do, very, very, very few situations where you can actually drop off the high ground on this map. You have to stay up here as Cass. You have to. So this was a big mistake. This first point, playing on the left side, whatever, you know, I'll let it slide. But also on this point, I just didn't really like some of your rotations. Right, we need, like, you checking this wasn't really good in my opinion. I think you need to just spam main. But this is less important than you just can't drop off the high ground on Sanctum. Or on Mecha Base, sorry. You just can't. You just can't. So that was the big issue. What's up, Tail? DRX, good to see you. DRX was we were actually just talking about you. You were the Tracer on, the guy who I said plays like Tracer on Nepal. I remember. Have you thought about doing unranked the GM on stream or nah? Who would I do it on, though, Kwame? On Cass? I don't really think there's a point for me doing it on Cass, to be honest. Because if you just want gameplay, I stream gameplay every week. Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I play like mostly Cass. I think I had GM4. Yeah, I'm GM4 right now. What's the point of unranked the GM? I think I would do unranked GMs on characters I'm bad at. I would do it on Sojourn. I suck at Sojourn. I have a 40% win rate on Sojourn. I am not good on this hero. 40%, like, consistently. Look how consistent it is. Consistent 40% win rate on this hero. I suck at Sojourn. I'm actually so bad. I already did it on Tracer. I have another account. Let me actually change accounts so I can show you guys. I have another account called SkrillexFan8 that I actually did do an unranked GM on, and I'm actually done already. I'm like GM3 on that account. Let me pull it up. Genji? I could do... Genji would actually be really difficult, but I could do it. Also, Tail, I low-key folded and dropped the cast and played mainly Tracer and bolted back up to D5. That's fine, bro. At the end, I don't really care, man. Whatever you think is fun, just play whatever you think is fun. If you think Tracer's fun, play. Okay, you play Tracer. The cast is too hard. 5U. I think Cass, I think Cass is he's hard because he's hard in the context of Overwatch. He's simple, but he's hard in the context of Overwatch. This is my Tracer 1 trick account, guys. I'm GM3 on Tracer. I have 80 games played with a 65% win rate. Honestly, same. Find it so hard to carry on Cass. Cass has like one of the lowest win rates. Like, let me pull it up. I'll show you guys. Cass has one of the... If you just look up Overwatch hero stats, and you go to this page, you can go to competitive, and then just pick... I recommend you pick Masters or Grandmaster, and then just do win rate. Cassidy is one of the lowest win rates in the game. The reason I also think Cassidy is one of the lowest win rates in the game because nobody knows how to play Cassidy. Nobody really understands what to do. They just main bot. Which is why you guys, when you learn from me, you should have a exceptional performance compared to the average Cassidy player because you just understand the game better. You understand Cassidy better. Low-key, I'm not even that good on the aim. I just abuse the fact that platinum players cannot do 180 mouse swipes like me. No. I think you're... I don't even think it's... If I watch your Tracer gameplay, I can almost guarantee you it has nothing to do with the enemy team's incapacity to aim. and it has everything to do with your ability to distract enemies at correct times, and as a result, let your team win from a macro perspective. That's like 80% of Tracer. Like, the reason I hit GM3 on Tracer is not because I have good aim, it's because I have good timing, I know when to flank, I understand space control, I open up things for my team. It has nothing to do with my mechanical skill. I hardly ever land pulse bombs. If you ask any of my teammates on my team, they'll tell you that I just don't hit pulses ever, basically. I'm not good. But Cassidy, also the thing to understand about Cassidy in particular is Cassidy is not a forgiving hero. He's one of the least forgiving heroes in the game, just like Ana. Okay. If you miss your cooldowns, you're fucked. If you use your cooldowns incorrectly, you're fucked. You don't have like your cooldowns aren't forgiving in nature, right? Cold roll doesn't go very far, and almost all of your balance is put into your gun as Cassidy. But if you're playing someone and for Ana, it's your cooldowns, right? But for Genji, his balance is spread more across a bunch of different things. Wish Flash was like Sleep. Ana is scary. Cass is not. Well, Flash was like Sleep in Overwatch 1 because it actually stunned people, but now it doesn't. So it's less of a thing. And that's a big reason why Cass hasn't really fit well into the larger metagame of Overwatch as a hero shooter, because he's just not. Flash is not a particularly strong cooldown. Tail, why is Hanzo on my screen? Oh, I also practice Hanzo on this account. This is the account I like practice on. I played Freya on here. I played Tracer on here. I play Hanzo on here. Hanzo's really good on like. I mean, I'm not good at Hanzo, as you can see. I lost a ton of games. I mean, I only played 4, but I just don't win. I hate to say it, but sometimes you gotta. If you can't beat them, join them. All right. I think they should give Cass a little bit more effective range. If they are gonna change it, let me boot up practice range so you guys have something to look at as I talk about this. But I don't think Cass needs more effective range. I really don't think that is the issue. I think if we're gonna change anything about Cassidy from a design standpoint, I think Cassidy needs a deeper look at how his mobility works in Overwatch. Or so what I was thinking about is I actually think they should move Cassidy down to 60 damage and then give him more mobility. I think it would be fair. The roll is just too much of a limiting cooldown. He just can't do enough, right? Especially because he can't go on high grounds. Lacking the ability to take high ground is really limiting in Overwatch. It's extremely limiting. Move speed passive out of combat. Yeah, I also think he's like I was thinking about perks for Cassidy. I think he should have a roll goes further when you're out of combat. I think roll goes 20% further out at full HP or something would be really good. I think that'd be a really, really good perk. He gets banned enough. Yeah, the reason he gets banned enough is because the reason he gets banned is people don't ban heroes that are good. They ban heroes that are annoying. They just ban the annoying heroes, which is why Venture gets banned, which is why Cass gets banned, which is why in lower elos Sombra gets banned, which is why people like Mercy get banned. It's just because they're annoying. It's not because they're good. If we wanted to ban good heroes, you would ban Tracer every single game. You would ban Hazard, Diva every single game. You would ban like. And this is what generally gets banned in high elo. It's like kind of the broken heroes. Less so the annoying ones. Also, the problem with Cassidy is if you think about it, he's the only one of, if we're not counting May, Cassidy's one of the only heroes in the DPS roster that like has a way to like has like CC. He's the only one. And discounting Trap. Okay. I'm not counting Trap. And as a result, he's going to get banned in the damage slot more because he's the only CC in this slot. Give Castle Horse. Yep. I've been said that. Yumi, you know I've been said that. Honestly, give Cass wall climb. If Cass had wall climb, he would be insanely broken. I'm not even joking with you guys. He would be really good. Really, really, really good. Because here's what you could do. You could like, imagine this is Circuit Royale first corner. You could just climb up and then like drop down and two-tap someone type situation. I ban Diva every game. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Is doing stuff like that. But Diva is one of your hardest counters in the game. Ban Diva, ban Hazard, ban tanks. All the tank matchups are really tough for Cass. They need to give Cass a new shift where he can burst heal around him and heal his allies, and that effect is doubled if allies are below half HP. Oh yeah, so we're just giving him BAP shift. I think that would be amazing. He needs, I think Cass should do 60 damage. In the current state of Overwatch, I think he should do less damage, but or 65 damage, sorry, not 60 or 7. He should do 65 instead of 70, and then he should have a longer roll. It should go further. And then I still think he would be kind of weak still, but he would be more playable. Or they need to reduce roll cooldown. Because you want to know something interesting, guys? Roll cooldown is 6 seconds. Hanzo lunge is 4 seconds. But lunge doesn't let him reload. I also think on Cassidy, they also need to remove reload on roll. They need to just remove it from the game. I'm going to be honest. They need to remove it. Because it limits so much about how you can balance him. They don't want to really, like, how do you change roll? You can't reduce the roll cooldown because it lets him reload. So it's always going to be 6 seconds forever. Like, it's really brutal. Like, there's not a lot for them to change. I don't... Cassidy just doesn't really fit into Overwatch anymore. Is the problem. He's hard to balance. If you give him more HP, or if you give him more range, then he's just better than every other hit scan. If he had 35 meters, there's already very little to no reason to play Ashe. Why would you play Ashe when Cassidy and Sojourn exist in the game? It doesn't make any sense. Ashe is just not that good. Ashe sucks. So, and that's why they can't give him more range, because he's just better than Ashe. Gun is just Bob. Yeah, but I don't give a damn about Bob when I could just two-tap people from 35 meters. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. Hitscan is in a really weird balance position in Overwatch. Like, I really think they should move Cass to be more of a flanker type hero. That way, if they want to add another hitscan, they can kind of fill the gap with someone else. Ashe can two-tap. Yeah, but Ashe also has to ADS. And the higher elo you are, the more the movement penalty from ADS matters. Make Bob sentient. Yeah, I think they should just make Bob a selectable hero, to be honest, at this point. You would see more playtime than Ashe. But yeah, the reason you don't see Ashe is because Cassidy and Sojourn exist. If Cassidy was not in the game, Ashe might be played more. Actually, I don't even think that would be true. If Sojourn was in the game, you'd definitely see more Ashe, though. For sure. But yeah, that's the thing. Okay, we want to look at more codes. I need to switch back to my other account before we look at some more codes here. Because this account doesn't have the spectating stuff set up correctly. But anyway, I switched to this account to show you guys that I've already done and ranked to GM Tracer off stream, just because I needed to learn Tracer for my team. If I did an unranked to GM, it would be on like Reaper or someone I've never really played. When you ult his Bob, Ashe comes running out. Yep. Yep, that sounds fantastic. I don't even know how they would do that. Aimbot Ashe type shit. But yeah. But yeah, if I did unranked GM, it would be like Reaper, Genji, Pharah. It would just be a DPS. I have no interest in playing support or tank. I find it fun, but I just, with the level of depth of understanding that I have for the game right now, I just don't really give a damn about playing support or tank or whatever. Not really my cup of tea. Okay, let me boot up. Sorry, I gotta switch accounts and then boot up the game. I'm currently getting the bug where it still says I have Overwatch open. So we have 2 more codes. We have one from, oh wait, one new post. Oh, we just got a brand new one from Jared. We'll do Jared's brand new one, and then we'll do one more from Gargamel. Gargamel, would you prefer Hollywood or Circuit Royale? Okay, let me get View career profile, history, replays, import. At Yumi, paladins all change. Oh yeah, I forgot there are horses in paladins. I actually forgot about that. Man, I should play paladins. I haven't played that game forever. I mean, it also is essentially a dead game now, but that game was low-key fun. I played Mave and I enjoyed it. Okay, Jared, you already pissing me off. We're on the wrong angle. You're on the wrong angle, bro. Come this way. Stand here. Stand here. Here's how you play this, guys. You stand here. Okay, let's think about it. Let's think about it. If I stand here, when am I ever playing to my effective range? It doesn't matter. Someone in Discord asked for Hollywood. Okay, we can... Wait, really? We have 10 billion Hollywood VODs across the channel. I've watched Hollywood like 10 times at this point. Anyway, let's talk about Junkertown. So, if we're standing here, guys, when are we playing in our effective range? Only in like this circle. So basically, the only time you're going to be able to really do anything is when the cart is here. Okay, so if that's the case, why do we play here when the cart is here and all the way pushing like this? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And also, what heroes are generally played on Junkertown? Ashe, Genji, Tracer, Widow, Hanzo. Like, everybody with long range is played on this map. Even Reaper can TP to the high ground, right? People that can do things to you, okay? And you can't do things to them. So don't play here. Don't play here as Cass. Doesn't make any sense. You need to play here, okay? And here's the idea. You stand here because there's good cover for you. It's an off angle, right? You'll be off angled to your team. I mean, your Zen is here right now, but you'll be off angled. What about denying right flank? If someone comes right side over the wall, are you going to be able to stop them from doing this? If the Genji climbs here and then walks this way, will you be able to stop them? No, you're not going to be able to stop them. There's literally zero chance you stop them from doing that. You can tag him maybe, but that's about it. If you played here, if Jared played here and he said, I'm playing here to deny the Genji rotation, I'd be like, you know what, Jared, that's cool. But I know damn well he's just standing there to stand there. And that's the problem with you guys sometimes, is you just stand in places to stand in there for no reason at all. So if he told me that, I'd be like, you know what, all right. I'm cool with it. But that's not the case. Okay. Either way, this right side rotation is nowhere near as good as this rotation is. But the problem is you can't really make this rotation a lot as an attacker because this is denied by the defenders a lot. Sometimes I stand places just to stand there relatable. Literally, exactly. My mate said that's the best place to play. That's why. Well, your mate is wrong. He's wrong. I hate to say it. Every time you guys tell me, my friend told me to stand here, I have proved your friend wrong. Okay, this is the unfortunate truth. I'm telling you, this angle is not good. Also, think about it this way, Jared. If you get dove, what is your rotation? How do you rotate out from this angle? How do you rotate out? You have to like come in main or go like deep side like this, and that's it. It sucks. But if you're here, you can rotate back if you have to. You have a mega here. It's way safer. You can shoot cart. It's just way safer to be in general. But yeah, okay. You rat in the mega room? Yeah, the ratting in the mega room is really good. It's a really good play. Okay, let's watch Jared team play. He top 500 though. Is he a Cassidy one trick? And has he studied Cassidy for hundreds of hours? I'm telling you it's worse. I'm just telling you it's worse. I've played Cassidy like 30 times on this map. 40 times, 50 times. Not as many, yeah. That's the problem. And this is why, Jared, what you're mentioning is exactly why I don't coach Sojourn. I don't coach Tracer. Because I'm not going to give you guys accurate advice. I'm going to tell you what I think is good, but because I don't play that hero, I don't actually know what's the best play. I just do what I think makes sense, right? He probably thinks standing here is fine because this is like a hit scan angle. But this is a soldier angle. This is an Ashe angle. And because this is not in Cassie's effective range a lot, and because roll is such a shitty cooldown, you just can't really play here. That's what I'm telling you. But that's precisely why I don't give advice on heroes that are not Cassidy. Because I just don't know. I can use my fundamentals and my understanding of the game to derive what a good play would look like on Sojourn or on Tracer or whatever, but I don't actually know. I'm aware of that, and for you having that stance, I respect you for that too. Well, I'm glad. But yeah. And this is why, like, I like, although I climbed a Tracer, I want your Tracer basically to GM3. I'm still not coaching her because although I feel like I understand how to play Tracer at a comfortable level, like I would play that on my main, I don't feel comfortable in coaching her because I just don't have that thorough of an understanding of how the hero works. But it's not, I've just spent, keep in mind, guys, if you see a pro VOD on YouTube, there's a more than a 50% chance I've already seen it of Cassidy gameplay. I've just watched so much Cass gameplay. But here, okay, so here's the problem, by the way. Sorry, I've been having a whole conversation over this. Okay, so let's watch it all over again. I apologize. I'm really sorry. So we poke out this ball. We roll for this rotation. Look at this, by the way. Let's look at the macro here. Look at all the space we've given up by doing this. You got baited by the ball, who's already out, mind you. And now your whole team has no space. This is what your team has. So now red team gets to take all of this space for free. Because no one's there. Boom, instant loss. This is why the scoreboard doesn't matter, by the way, guys, because of mistakes like this. Because this is unfortunately game losing. Stuff like this is game losing. Just giving up space for free is game losing. It's really bad. But if you're on this angle, it'd be impossible for you to demand to leave the space. You can contest it. You can peek it like this. Of course, you got to be careful, but you can peek it like this. You can do more. But yes, so that's the mistake. You denying this rotation doesn't really matter that much in my opinion, because they're still getting cart push anyway. So who cares? And the ball gets in and kills your Ashe anyway. So did us stuffing them really change anything? No. Okay, not really. Do you have a map tier list for Cass out? No. We can do one. We can do one this stream. We can do one real quick. But we'll do it after this actually. We'll just do an impromptu one. I haven't prepared for it. Good rotation, but the reason you lose this is because you just don't like. Here's what should be happening. So this whole time you're kind of jerking off here. You should be on this angle, either forcing the Genji to fight you or coming for a late flank and two-tapping the Ashe. Like following up on this ball is exactly what should be happening right now. Shoot the Weaver, shoot the Ashe. Boom. The Ashe probably dies. The Weaver, I don't even know. Someone dies. But we're not even on that angle to afford such an opportunity because we're playing the main side here. Are you trolling? No, you're not trolling, Jared. You're not trolling, right? It's better. You would be trolling if you're standing here. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. If you're standing on the floor, you're trolling. If you're standing up here, it's okay, but it's not the best play. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Nice flash. I like you chasing the ball there. That's good. Now we just reset. Boom. Now we're on this angle. Okay. What is this? You know what this Genji should be doing right now? I'm gonna be for real with you. He should be walking this way and taking stairs because it's free. No one is here. Did he miss the mega? The ball? I think it was down. I'm pretty sure it was down, mate. It didn't really matter, so I mean, we can look at it, whatever. Let's look at it. I don't even know where it is. Oh, this is our ball. Sorry. Dude, I already lost it. I don't really care. Whatever. It doesn't really matter that much. But this Genji shouldn't, in my opinion, should not be coming right side. He needs to go, or he shouldn't be coming this way. He should be going the other side of the map. But why do we die to Ashe here? That's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like this is what you would just avoid if you played here. You just avoid random deaths. You just stand here, play cover, swing out on timing. Like, that's all it is. But yeah, you die here for basically just playing a really, an angle where you're always outranged. Fuck Kiri, I've been said that. I've been said fuck Kiri. She do way too much damage. Okay, I like the Deadeye. There's a good chance you die there, but I think the risk reward makes sense. So I think it's fine. Yeah, but you lose because you died the last fight, just randomly. Like, there's not a good way for you to get back into this fight. Like, honestly, your probably best play is here. Boom, shoot ball. I like the mark. But honestly, instead of doing this, it's actually to walk up the staircase and come wide. Ah, maybe not, because they are pushing up. Maybe not. I don't actually... In hindsight, that's not a good play. Maybe, like... you get booped backwards. I mean, you definitely need uptime. I understand you're not full HP, but you definitely need to be in the fight right now, especially when Blade comes out. I feel like this map is not the best for Cassidy. It's not. It's not. This first defense sucks. Or it's okay. Well, also part of why this looks pretty bad, DRX, is because he's just not playing it correctly. He's standing here. If he stood, I promise you guys, if you watch, actually, have I streamed Junkertown yet? Does anyone know? Fuck, I wish I like had an archive of my, I have? Okay, let me pull it up. Twitch.tv. This is how you guys get better, by the way. You find players that are better than you, and you watch them play, and then you're like, dang, I should do that. Or you get coaching. So you guys are doing it like literally in the right spot. Okay. Wait, what the hell? Oh my god, bro. What am I doing? Oh my god, I have 8 viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. But anyway, we're gonna go to One Soul Tale. We're gonna go to videos, and then would you look at that? It's like you have a GM player's gameplay right at your fingertips and countless hours of coaching on Cassidy. Okay, I feel like if I did, it was a long time ago, like at the beginning of the season, maybe. I actually don't know. Does anyone by chance know? Overwatch replays is not going to show you my gameplay though. That's the thing. I want to find my gameplay. I don't know if I have any. It might be on YouTube as well. Cassidy. Is this when I placed? Okay, this is when I placed, I think. Kings Row, Oasis, Runasapi, Junkertown. Yes. No, this was the game I had to play Freya. Do you guys remember this? Fuck, this sucked. Montana was there, I guess. But this... Fuck, Cass was Cass banned? Why did I play Freya? Bro, and of course one guy voted for it. Really? Oh my god, Cass was banned. Fuck. This would have been it. Anyway, I'm not going to go down like the super rabbit hole because we're just not going to find it. But basically what I do is I stand here and I actually deadlift games. Okay, that's what I was going to show you guys. I just deadlift. You were there? Yeah, I was banned. I do remember that because I was like, fucking, I was like, why would you ban Cass on this map? I actually do remember saying that. But long story short, it's not a good, the defense is way stronger than the attack, in my opinion. But anyway, we're like getting super far into the minutia here. Boom, shoot the Genji. Huge. Okay, here's what you want to do. Stop jerking off here. Boom, go wide. We're playing the door. Oh, shit. You know what? I lied. We're not playing the door. Why are we not playing the door, guys? Oh, you know what? We might want to play the door. We might want to play the door. Or the window. Sorry, I don't know why I keep calling it a door. They're playing Genji. Okay. They're playing Genji. They're playing ball. So I was a little bit worried at first because I was like, oh, you might get ball slam. But then I forgot ball slamming into this window is kind of ass. So, if you play this window, you deny the Genji the rotation. And it's really good. So I recommend you play here, personally. I don't think playing here is going to be that good because you're going to get outranged by Ash Kiri. But I don't think it's terrible. It's definitely good to play high ground. I play Hanzo here. Sorry, Tail. Hack perk is so good here. Wait, really? Oh, you know what? Gargamel, I never thought about that. Hacking this mega will... Wait, these guys... I actually didn't even think about this. That is actually very interesting. But I don't think Hanzo's good here. I mean, he's probably okay here because it's long range. But Hanzo's really good on flat maps. Kind of like King's Row. He's really good on King's Row. Because it's just, you just spam down one head level and you just kill everybody and their dog, right? I'm a huge, big fan of stuff like that. Okay, so we take the angle. Perfect. Fight the Genji. Big flash. Don't like the roll. I actually wanted you to greed the roll a little bit there. But I actually understand because he is point blank. You want to get distance. You know, so it makes sense. Gargamel does no ball. He does no ball. Go back. Go back. He just used his cooldowns. You know he has no cooldown. Because the problem is you're gonna reswing main. And then now everything is out of your range and we're sad. And you get slammed, you get hit by a ball. You know what'd be crazy? If you just stood at the window, you'd have actually dodged both these mines and the ball rolling into you. And what do I say about good positions? Does anyone remember what I say about good positions? What is this? Like good positions, they like something happens to them and then they're able to do things and then they like win the game. Infinite value, that is it, but also good positions get lucky. Okay, good positions get lucky. Shit positions do not get fucking lucky. They get railed, unfortunately, okay? In many different ways. I'm talking Sojourn and other ways, okay? So we should not be coming here. This makes no sense. Just stay here, especially when the Genji has good positions get bitches. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. They get many things. But yeah, we shouldn't be here. This makes no sense. So any chance you had a deadlift to fight has now been lost to the ether. Okay, so we shouldn't be here. It doesn't make any sense. What are we doing? Bad positions make you ellipses. Okay, like exactly. This is what I'm saying. Okay, look. So not Gargamel. Jared is in a bad position because he got screwed by the ball slam. And then he drops because he sees. Okay, first of all, don't drop. Don't drop. Okay, I don't recommend drop unless your idea is to trade out. Dropping doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we drop to kill the Weaver, and then you're just fried because you're bad because of the butterfly effect of bad positioning. Okay, that's literally exactly what it is. Flanking Bob. We just made a bad play, guys. We should have stayed in the window, especially when the Genji had no cooldowns and no one to mark you. That was like your window of opportunity. Quite literally your window of opportunity. All right. So, first of all, why are we aiming at the floor? Don't piss me off. Stop aiming at the floor. I don't care if you're walking back. Here's what you need to be doing, Jared. Got your one. Yeah, you sure did get your one. Bro, Jared, you're actually pissing me off. Okay, first of all, don't aim at the floor. Second of all, as you're making this rotation, guys, what do I say you're supposed to be doing as you're making a rotation? Does anyone know? Study the ult economy by pressing tab. Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer, Gargamel. What else should you be doing as you're making a rotation every single time? Does anybody know? Does the class know? It's almost like spamming. Yup, you should be spamming flourish because you have to look click. You have to look cool. Check for your team. Exactly, Jared. You should be looking through the wall and seeing where your team is. That's so true, Jared. Why are we not doing that, Jared? Why are we not doing that? You do that there, but why are you not doing that here? What else are we looking at? What else is there to look at? Boom, check, walk. Boom, check, walk. Boom, check, walk. Turn on the enemies. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, but you should be looking through the wall to see where the enemies are, which we don't do. Or so we'll see where our team is. So the Deadeye is kind of crazy in my opinion because it's like extremely high risk, high reward. Okay, Jared, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Guys, we all know that I don't like blind Deadeyes. I mean, you know they're on point. Okay, rare situation where blind Deadeye is fine. Okay, I hate to say it. It's fine here. Kitsune? Oh, bro, he's not zoning the Kitsune because the Kitsune is above him. Oh, wait, it actually... Oh, I didn't actually know you could do that. Wait, what?
On my way.
I actually did not... Okay, I'm gonna be real. I did not know Kitsune worked like that. I did not realize you could Kitsune from the high ground and it falls. That's my fault. That's my fault. But the reason I think this is fine, Jared... Cheap viewers, man, fuck you. Mods, ban that guy. Anyway. Okay, anyway... Okay, let me finish my point. Oh, too many things are going on. Here's what we need to do. Swinging. Look, he can blind Deadeye here because he knows the cart is pushing into this last stretch. His ball's on point, and there are 2 people at least guaranteed on point here. So this Deadeye is fine blind in my opinion because everyone is gonna have to turn around and deal with him. I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate that Kiriko is literally right here. That's likely gonna two tap him, but I think the idea is fine. You think Blizzard won't make support life easy? Yeah, with the Kitsune, that is true. Would it have mattered if he just went high ground? He could have gone high. Yeah, I think going high is fine. If his idea, I mean, going high ground is probably actually now that you mention it, DRX, I actually totally forgot to mention this. But I think going up high ground is almost objectively better than being on the floor. I'm going to be honest. I would go top then wrap. Yeah, that would be your play, right? Your play would be come top here like this. Bam, shoot these guys. Bait the Genji dive or something and just win the duel. And then if you can, like, look for a rotation like this. Like, that would be, like, low-key your best play. But honestly, coming bottom and dead-eyeing is still good. It's still good. This is a high agency play. I actually like it. Because the thing about going high as well, if you know that someone on the enemy team is on the high ground, they don't have a way to contest you if you pop Deadeye below them. I don't think there's enough time to set up. Let me check. Yeah, you had time. Here's how you would have known if you had time, by the way. You would have done this. Look. Okay, my team's kiting. I have time to walk forward now. Boom. You would have literally had time. It's because you don't actually check to, like, what you need to do is as you're making the rotation, you need to read what's happening. Okay. Is your team kiting? Is your team pushing forward? Is your backline kiting, but your tank is going in? Who is my tank? Is it ball? Can he live? Can he live long enough? Do we have time for a cart? Right? You got to make a gajillion, billion, trillion calculations in your brain and then figure out what to do. In this situation, you did. Okay, I'm going to move on after this, but in this situation, you did have time to come high ground, but it didn't really matter. Anyway, the Deadeye is fine in my opinion. I think the idea of the Deadeye is fine. It's just unfortunate that the Kiryu is there, but I think we could have gone high ground and actually had more success with the similar play. But I'm not going to beat you up for making that play. I think it's like, okay. Okay, I don't know why we're aiming at the floor though. Oh my, Jared, please tell me this was an accident. Please tell me this was an accident. There's no way you drop here. There's literally no way we drop here. This is so egregiously bad. There's actually zero chance you drop. Oh my god, Jared. There's no way. Okay, the reason you don't drop on this map, guys, if you don't know, is because the rotation out here is... How do you... You just can't rotate out. You're fucked. That's the problem. We can't rotate out this way because it's going to take too long. You have to like walk up this way, then walk up the stairs. It's such a long rotation, and you have to go through the open in main. You are screwed. You almost certainly die here. Nuh-uh. All right, let's check. Jared. Leave game and freaking out. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this miracle. 138 HP. Whole team is looking at us. We hit the flash in the last breath of desperation. Oh, more damage flying our way. 1 HP. 1 HP. 1 HP. Jared, you are one lucky bastard. Okay. You are lucky. You should not have lived here. You should have died. It is very fortunate that your supports have literally nothing else to do but heal you. Good position. Don't piss me off. Good position. That is fucking troll. He actually is. Good positions get lucky, but motherfucker, this guy just summoned something. Oh, can you roll tech off that? This is a cool roll tech. Rarely good, but in this situation actually would have been good if you can. Nah, I've tried. Okay. Before the nerf would have been 26 HP. That is true. Okay, but basically in this whole situation, Jared's next best play right now is to rotate to high ground. Literally find any rotation high ground. I don't care what. He just needs to go high. Because being on the floor is not it. You're not going to be able to carry from here. Zen dies and we die. So that drop was terrible. It's unfortunate. No, I tried it though. I feel like you can make that roll tech, guys. I feel like you can make that. But maybe it's because you guys fell in the same trap as I have. I feel like you can. I feel like you can like late tech it or something. You're testing it out. Try a late tech. I think you can get it with a late tech. I don't think it's like a instant roll tech though. But either way, that whole problem with that fight is Jared just needs to not. No, don't drop. You rolled in this situation. Hebers, why are you inviting me? I'm doing a VOD review. Oh, it's scrim. I can't do the scrim. I can't. I might have to do it later. But you can easy. It's a late tech though, isn't it, Gargamel? That's probably why it's hard to get. Late techs are really inconsistent. Here you needed to not drop earlier, by the way, Jared. This position is like largely just shoot them type of position. There's not a lot of play. Don't drop again. Late? No? Okay, I'll check it out later maybe. You know what? Dropping here is fine. Dropping here is fine. The Genji's on you and you don't know where he is, so that's fine. Okay, we just need to kill Genji, but whatever. What's the mechanical issue here? Missed the flash, whatever. Probably shouldn't have flashed there because that guy's just out of range. Get ready for the potato. You try to deny the mini, but you have full HP, which kind of sucks. I do that all the time. It was fine. Sometimes you just miss, bro. I'm gonna be real. Sometimes you just miss. You weren't doing anything like inherently wrong. You were aiming at head level. You just didn't click on them. That's it. I really don't care that much. Okay, now you go up top, surely, right? Oh, they have 10 seconds. I'm gonna be honest, even though they have 10 seconds, you should still go high ground. You should still go high ground. It's just better. Yeah, because you avoid dying to stuff like this. Right. Was too much pressure too old for me? It's alright. That's how it goes. But here you should have just stayed high ground. Even though there's 5 seconds left, I would just go high and be real. What's blushing? Okay. Here, I'm not pushing cart. Okay, I'm not pushing cart. Let someone else push cart. Guys, you don't win games on carts. Leave it for your supports. Okay, here's what I'm doing. Or if you're tracer, push cart, whatever. Here's what I'm doing. I'm making one of two plays. Actually, I'm making one play only. I'm coming up the stairs. I'm coming this way. I'm jumping off this high ground. And I am suiciding backline flank. I'm not even trolling. I'm actually making this play. I'm going to go for a deep flank. Why? Because Cassidy kind of low-key sucks on first fight. He sucks on first fight. He's so bad. So I might as well do something crazy to force them to turn around and deal with me. So the enemy team gave up high ground basically instantly. So this is a rare situation where this is actually good. But in higher elo, this is not going to work. Now they were playing dive, so I was playing main closest support. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, these guys don't really... They kind of shit the bed. I don't know why they're playing the comp they are. They should be on like long-range poke heroes. But because they're playing this like weird dive with Brig type situation, and it's literally Genji ball dive, I don't really know what they're doing. Pushing cart here actually ends up being fun. Okay, so what you... this is kind of awkward. So honestly, your best play at this point is once the cart is about here, low key, roll tech off the sofa and land up here and then shoot these. Like you want... This is the angle you want. Because the end goal is this. But you can also read this as your Sojourn died, and I think your tank died as well. So, yeah, your tank dies. So low-key, just push it to under the bridge, and then back up, and then set up back up on the high ground. I think is your best play. Because now you're the furthest guy forward, and when you're the furthest guy forward, you're very likely going to be the dive target, and you're just going to die to, like, random stuff. Yeah, especially when your Sojourns die. You kind of just don't read the state of the fight, and then you're kind of stuck out in the open. I mean, your ball comes back in, but at that point, it's a little bit too late, and you just kind of die, unfortunately, to spam. So, yeah, after your ball died, you needed to play a little bit more passive there. You posted Discord. I'll check it out in a second. Yeah, okay, so this is going to feel bad, because... These angles, okay, you kill the Brig, which is good. I think that's a little bit, I don't think the Brig actually trolled. I think it's just a little bit of an overperformance from you, which is good. But these fights, you're always going to feel awkward. Your best play at this point is to come this side, walk up the stairs, what the heck? Walk up the stairs, walk through this door, and then jump over to the staircase. That or roll tech off the sofa. Either one. You really want this angle. This is like your carry angle. Or like, as I mentioned, suicide deep flank are like your plays. Because the problem is, most of the time on this map, you just kind of exist or you're a liability. You're like 0 or negative value on Junkertown attack. So if you just go down main. So you have to pick one of the side angles and just run it down. Like here, for example, we just kind of didn't do anything. Okay. So it might be that just over and over and over again. No, okay. Now we come right side, which is good. Fight the Cass. Honestly, keep fighting the Cass. Keep fighting the Cass is like, I'm not even trolling, your best play. Oh, it tried only the boxes themselves, not the actual life. Okay, gotcha. So the Rotec is possible. Okay, this is good. And once again, we don't really do anything. But the fight was kind of lost, so we had to leave anyway. And then we trade out here, or we at least try to. Get marked by Genji. Fortunately, okay, whatever. Nice dead eye. Good shots. Good shots. Okay, you're kind of just main botting on attack, I'm gonna be honest. There's not really nothing you're doing here is playmaking. You only had one time you did anything playmaking related, and it's when you walked in through the mega and did this. Okay, I need you to get a little bit more creative. I need you to set up, walk here, boom, jump over here, fight here. Do that. Or like do this, go super wide. This is where you need help on second. Okay. So on second, get off the point. Get off the point. Okay. Get off the point. Get off the point. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk this way. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to come to the staircase. Fight them here. Yeah, you need to go mega room. You need to come this way. You need to fight them here. If you're getting stuffed and you can't actually make the rotation, okay. You go boom, 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 and shoot them in the back and force them to deal with you. That's it. That's all you can do. Cassidy is garbage here. He is so garbage on this point. This is one of Cassidy's worst points in the entire game. Because there's no playmaking on the first half of this. There's actually 0 playmaking. It's a lot like Gibraltar, where you only have one rotation that's good. And it's this. It's literally just this. So like here, we need to get off cart. Yeah, and you need to make this rotation. So this is good. Here, do we get stuffed? No. We fall up on the dive. Perfect. You rolled to try to get the kill and just die for it. It's unfortunate. But I think the roll is honestly fine there. Did you have ammo? Let me see. Boom, boom. I mean, he had ammo. You didn't actually need to roll here, so maybe that's the issue. But I understand why you rolled here. And it's just unfortunate the ball is also here, to be honest. There's a clip for me. I use Discord. I used a pedal for high noon. Besides that, it's your bread and butter. Yeah, if you have something like a Life Weaver or a Sim TP, it drastically changes how you play this point. But, I mean, that's not the situation here. Okay, here we go right side again. Wait for your team. Early, too early, too early, too early. Look, you literally just saw your team, bro. Your team is 10 billion years away. Why are we going now? Just stand here and don't even move your camera. Just see where your team is, and then swing. You're just going too early right now. So now everyone is looking at you. Why is everyone looking at Jason, or not Jason? Why is everyone looking at Jared right now, right? By the way, guys. Who else can they look at? No one else is look at a bowl. Okay. There's actually 0 people. It's just him. So you're too early, Jared.
Not exactly what I expected.
Okay. And now you go main. Okay, so you go main now. Why do you go main here? I guess because you're winning the fight. Does someone die? No, but you do have a lot of space. So maybe, I mean, it's okay. I mean, even here, I would go high ground. Alright, Deadeye's fine. Sock Sniffer is peeling. Yeah, they give up a lot of space here, so he's able to go main. Get the kill. You know, playing on the floor here is not that bad. It's okay, but I'm honestly, like, I would still be thinking in the back of my mind, if I have an opportunity, I'm going to go rotate high. Because the game is going to be won on the high ground. This Deadeye is good given the circumstance, so I like that. I actually like that. And then now staying on the floor is fine, Because you just 3 on cart. Oh, and then we just get diffed, honestly. Here, you shouldn't be walking forward as you take this fight. Just stand here, bro. Just stand here. Bam, 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 bam. That's it. So walking forward was kind of troll. I know you're trying to get a flash. Are you trying to get a flash on the Ana? Is that what's going on? Okay, if you're going to go for that flash, you have to roll forward. You have to roll forward for that. I mean, it is unfortunate you didn't think the cast was going to swing you. So it's either you needed to, number one, commit to the idea. And never mind. Honestly, you just kind of get shit on. I'm going to be so real. You just kind of get shit on there. But here's the thing. Like, here's the thing, guys. I keep talking about this. I would have avoided this death completely because I would have just walked up to, find the time to walk up to high ground. Bam. And then, or like as you're pushing the cart here, I would have just walked up. Like, I prefer high ground so much, I would have just left. Don't say that, man. What, that I would have avoided the death? Or you just got shit on? Sometimes you just get shit on, bro. It's the truth. But I would have looked to get on the high ground either way. It doesn't really matter how you get there, to be honest. You can do this one or you can do this one. It doesn't really, or you can go up this one. I really don't care. You just need to be on the high ground. Because then from here, you have like flank rotations and it's really hard to clear you. Like, I would have just dodged this. I understand why you're on the point because you went a 3 on. But it's like, the problem with being on point in general, especially as Cassidy, is there's a lot of room for error, right? Things can go wrong on cart, right? You can get 2-tapped and shit on by an enemy Cassidy. You can miss a kill like this. Like, stuff like that can happen. It's way harder for that to happen on high ground. I think the left one has better range and escape. I honestly don't think it really matters that much. He just really needs to be on the high ground, which he's not. Okay, then we go Tracer to touch. So, DRX said, sometimes the enemy Wrecking Ball hits you with some jump in tech and you just well played, you know. No, it has nothing to do with the ball. Jared has made a bunch of mistakes this game that he could have cleaned up. Most egregiously, him dropping this drop is not, oh, sorry. Him dropping off of this is not just, this isn't just point losing, guys. This is game losing, this drop. It was this is why I had such a big reaction. This is really bad. It's really, really bad. You cannot make that mistake. You just can't. You cannot make that mistake. Honestly, so that was like the #1 issue I've seen from Jared so far. And then the other thing is on his first point defense is just really weak. It's really weak. So we have to have a new playbook for this first point defense, aka just stand here and then wait till the cart pushes up and look for late flanks. Or also his first point attack was really weak as well. There was no playmaking here. You were thirsty. It happens, man. Jedman is the only current pro I know. That's why I used him for the analogy. Okay, well, you also need to know Lip. And he's saying, so Lip is my favorite player on Crazy Raccoons. And then there's Heesang, who's the flex DPS. And then there's Shu and Chorong for the other players. I wasn't even watching the right guy at the end, but it doesn't really matter. Jared, I hope that was useful. Your Junkertown looks losing to me, unfortunately. It's one of the first times I've said that, but your Junkertown definitely looks losing. I don't think you have a good defense playbook. I don't think you really know what you're doing on attack. You know what you're doing on attack second, but attack first looked really weak to me. On maps where you're generally bad as Cassidy, as in you're outrange, your kit's not good, you have to just like low-key int. I hate programs I can't follow. I don't know how you follow. I don't watch every pro game. I just watch like whenever I'm bored, I just watch them. I'm not like super into it, to be honest. I just watch it occasionally. But okay. We have been streaming for 2.5 hours. We've gone through a bunch of codes. We're going to do one more code on Hollywood. I think, no. Okay, we're going to do Circuit Royale. And then, okay. Do you guys want me to do a map tier list or do you want me to do a review on Circuit Royale? What do you want? Map tier list. Okay, we're going to do map tier list. Let me open up. Let me open up Firefox. Let me switch this. Boom. This is no longer a Lip pro analysis. This is going to be a, can I change this, bro? Cast map tier list. Boom, a cast map tier list. Then I'm actually going to stop the recording and start the recording again. And then I'm going to move to Firefox. We're going to go to tier list maker Overwatch map. Whoa. Overwatch maps. Okay, is Atlas here? Okay, so we're going to do... Am I blind? Is Atlas here? I don't see Atlas. Okay. Season 17. Oh, was it there? Oh, shit, my fault. Oh, wait. Let's just do this one because this one is, like, slightly easier. Atlas. Okay, this one is just better. Let's just do this one. Okay. I apologize, guys. F tier, we're going to do... okay, hold on. So let me make a new one as well. Add a row below. And then this is going to be just like not in the game. And then we're also going to make F red. We're going to make D orange. No, okay, orange. Then C tier is going to be lighter orange. B tier will be green. Green. And blue. And then this would be NA, not applicable. Okay, and then not applicable is going to be workshop islands, random, this stuff. This stuff I do not give a damn about. Remove all of these, and then I need Hanaoka and Throne of Anubis here as well. And then that's it, I think. Where's like Volskaya? Yeah, all of these as well. All the 2 checkpoints. I'll give training map C tier. Yep, training map honestly is up there. Maybe S tier for cast, maybe, because the bots don't shoot back. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna go through all of these. It's gonna take fucking forever. Oh wait, Necropolis. Oh wait, there's also these. Man, there's a lot of maps in this game, actually, now I think about it. There are hella maps. I actually forgot about Ayutthaya. I forgot that maps even exist. Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna do... I'm honestly just gonna do it based on vibes. Okay, we're gonna do this based on vibes. This is gonna be impromptu, and I'm not going to overthink it, okay? I might, in the future, make, like, a for real tier list with actual analysis and research. But I'm just going to do it based on vibes right now. Okay, I hope nobody has a problem with that. Okay, Circuit Royale. Oh, let me make a holding one as well. So because it lets me like talk about them in a way that's like easy for me. Then we'll just do like... Okay, so first one up, Circuit Royale. So what are the tiers? Let's do... Okay, we'll do it this way. F is... always swap. Cast never viable. Always swap. Okay. D is going to be cast situationally viable. Situationally. How the fuck do you spell that? Situational. Okay, let me just do a different word. Occasionally viable. Bro. Okay, I think it's not. Yeah, occasionally viable. Limited. Okay, this is going to be no playmaking, but he's viable. Then this is going to be cast, viable, limited playmaking. Cast, viable. How do I want to do this actually? Playmaking. Available. Cast. Must pick cast maybe as S tier. Must pick cast. And then A tier is... I don't think I have an A tier. I think it's just... I think this should just be A tier probably. And then Because I don't really know how to break this up. Like, I feel like if I wanted to have a... I think this makes the most sense. I don't know what you guys think. Does this make sense to you guys? Like, do you think I should do this differently? Because at the end of the day, it just kind of comes down to, like, can you make plays on the map or not? Basically, anything above C you should be voting for. Really. Okay, we're gonna... It makes sense somewhat. Okay, maybe we'll change it as we go. But I don't... Because if I don't start going, it'll take forever for us to do this. So let me just go ahead and hop into it. Okay, we're gonna start with Circuit Royale. Okay, so the problem with Circuit Royale is on first point, you get outranged by pretty much everybody in the neutral, right? To an unbelievable degree. The most popular hit skins on that map are going to be people like Sojourn. They're going to be people like Ash. They're going to be... Actually, you know what we can do, guys, as we do this? I actually did this. I don't want to boot up each map because it's just going to take forever. But the problem is, on Circuit Royale, you just get outranged by a lot of people in the neutral. And there's only really one lane on most of the map, so flanking isn't good. There are some flanks available on the later points like second and third, but on second, the issue is they're too close in proximity generally, or the angle is bad. And on third point, the rotation to the high ground is really long on attack. On defense, Circuit Royale is a little bit more manageable, but the problem is, once again, there's very, very little playmaking on that map. You're going to get outranged by a lot of people, and if you are killing people, it's just because you could have done that on generally any hit scan. So, or on Reaper, or on just any other hero. I don't think Circuit Royale is an entirely unplayable map, but out of every map in the game, I think Circuit Royale is amongst the worst for Cassidy, just because there's not a lot you can do. I think Circuit Royale is going to be a D tier. I think Cassidy can occasionally be viable. There are some times where you can play Cassidy into things like Flyers, which can be quite good on Circuit Royale, especially on second point. Cassidy can really make second point work, but first and third, especially first, you really leave the outcome of the game in your teammates' hands. So I have to leave it in D tier. Dorado. So Dorado recently got reworked like 2 years ago or something, quote unquote recent, right? But, or maybe a year ago, I forgot. But the recent changes really made Cassidy a lot more viable, particularly on second point because of the staircase. You can walk up the stairs and be able to easily contest it from the attacker's point of view. Let me actually boot up a custom game. I feel like it's actually being able... I feel like it might make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. To have something visible. Create settings, maps. Let's do Dorado. And then let me move to spectator. And then start. Okay, so talking about Dorado. So the thing is, on Cassidy, you can walk up this staircase now on second point, which actually, this fight is actually quite good for Cass. You also have a flank available to you on this side here to be able to make plays as well, which is also good, especially when you have Deadeye. First point attack and defense is actually good for Cass because this side of the map exists. The only time you'll run into issues is when they're playing tanks that like to fight for this aggressively, like a Roadhog, and your team isn't having a great time pushing the other sides of the high ground. So, and this fight is good for Cass as well. And the only time you're ever going to run into a lot of issues on Cass is really on third point Dorado, because here, the only good play you really have is to come up this high ground. And sometimes you'll get stuffed here or forced out because you can't get support from you can't get help from your supports readily. So there's not a ton of playmaking you can do, but it's not terrible either. So generally, in my opinion, for Dorado, we are going to be looking at a B tier. Cassidy's viable, and there's quite a bit of playmaking available as well. Imagine if they have a lift near the Mega on the left side of the map. Yeah, if they change the left side of the map, there is a roll tech you can do on this side off of this little ledge here to get up top, but it's really inconsistent. But if that was added to the game, third point would be a lot easier for Cassidy. A lot easier. But that's just not the case. So Dorado is going to be a B tier for me. Okay, moving on to the next map here, we're going to be talking about Havana. Havana, I'm not going to open up the map, but Havana is easily a D tier, sorry. Havana is going to be a D tier. because the problem on first point and on third point is if they're playing anything sniper related, you just do not have any rotations available to you to be able to take the space. Sojourns, Ashes, Hanzos, Widows, Annas, Kiriko, like a lot of these long range spam heroes just shut down Cassidy completely, and there's basically nothing you can do. The only point that's actually viable for Cassidy, which is why I'm even putting it in D tier, is second point. Cassidy can actually be quite strong. But you can play rooms. Are you talking about on Havana? Even some of the rooms on first point on the on the right side, you do have a route available to you, but that play is not consistent. It's not consistent. It's your best play, but it's not consistent. And neither is third point. Third point, you can flank hard right side, but making that rotation is hard. And even then, it's really easy to get stuck in the tunnel and not be able to do anything. Like, there's a lot of different issues on Havana that Cassie just cannot. Like, the amount of time it takes you to do rotations takes forever, so your team is going to die. And when you do die, it's just bad. Havana is easily a D tier. It's not quite an F tier in my opinion, but it is a D tier. I think you can make it work. I think as long as you take the correct rotations, it's good. But yeah, I think Cass can occasionally be viable because of things like teleporter, because of things like the enemy team can't playing dive and you can counter a ball, like matchups can work out for you. Okay, long story short, guys, there's never going to be an F tier Cass map where you have to swap. I'm going to be honest. He's always never viable. There will be some situations where he's sometimes viable. So maybe I should change the tier list. Because I intended to never put anything in F tier. Because you can truly play him on everything. Old Numbani. No, Coastal existed on Old Numbani, so no, I don't agree with that. But either way, it didn't really matter. We'll keep going. We'll maybe change it later. Junkertown. So the thing about Junkertown is, once again, it kind of suffers the same issue as the sniper maps like Circuit Royale and Havana, where there are a few points, particularly first and parts of second, where you just get outranged and there's not really a lot of rotations available to you. But the nice thing about Junkertown is, even though there are very limited there's very limited range capabilities for you, there are some good rotations. The map is relatively open on first and on third, where you can go on kind of the outskirts of the map and find good positions for you with good timing. So Junkertown, and I also think on Junkertown defense, Cassie's actually quite strong, especially on second point. You can deny a lot of the high ground angles that are really important to win on second point attack. Or sorry, second point defense. So I actually think Junkertown is going to be a C tier for Cassidy. I think it's actually, there's some playmaking available to you, but I don't think he's always going to be viable. It's just going to depend on the situation. And particularly second point attack is just really, really weak for Cassidy. You only have one play, which is to walk up the stairs on the right side. And even then, it's just not good sometimes. So Junkertown, C tier. Rialto, I am going to have to Rialto is a little bit of a complex map. It's going to depend largely on the matchup, but Rialto is largely solved, okay? I figured out what the best rotations are. There are some points like point B that are a little bit tough because Cassidy just can't really take a good angle on kind of the second part of point B. You can play on the floor and play wide, but then you're kind of susceptible to dives. And if you stay on the staircase and poke people out, it's just kind of out of your range, okay? So Rialto can kind of be awkward on second point, but on third point, Cassidy is just really good in the neutral. So you can kind of just main bot on third point on both attack and defense, but he's also really good at locking down the side rooms. So all in all, I think Rialto is going to be a B tier map for Cassidy. There's a lot of playmaking available to you, especially on first point. That's really where Cassidy shines. But on third point, second and third point, he's a little bit weaker. I wouldn't say this map is better than Dorado. I think Dorado is extremely strong cast map, but I do think Rialto is good. I hate point B. I get stuck every time and go Widow. Yeah, it's point B removes quite a bit of playmaking for Cass, but I just think he's so strong on first point that it warrants it being in B tier. But it's just not as good as Dorado in my opinion. Route 66. So Route 66 has some issues, particularly third point. Cassidy is not very good on third point because he can get, in terms of playmaking, because of range issues, especially dive tanks are quite popular, especially right now. So it's hard for him to be able to hold angles aggressively and be able to do things. He's not like an Ash or a Reaper or like anybody he just doesn't have playmaking ability on third point in particular. On first point, there are some quite good angles, particularly tunnel, that I like to use and can burn off minutes on the clock easily. And on second point, he does have some rotations available to him. But the problem is it's kind of coming down to a very similar situation to Junkertown, Circuit Royale, and Havana, where there's just other hit scans that exist in the game that are going to consistently outrange him. So in my opinion, I'm going to have to rate Route 66 as a C tier, right above Junkertown. Because the difference that Route 66 has over Junkertown is that Route 66 has tighter angles and rotations that have more cover, so he has more playmaking, but there's some points in the map where it's just kind of impossible. He mostly struggles on second point attack and third point defense. Those are the biggest issues. How good is the mini room on the right side versus the truck mega? On Route 66, it will just depend. It just depends on the situation. A lot of the time, Cassie's job is going to be to stand on truck because you're really good at denying angles, and denying truck is really important in the third point meta game. Try to think of a time you've won third point without having truck control on attack, and you can probably think of 0 situations where that was true. Truck control is really, really important for the meta game. So if you just stand on truck side, you can just contest the angle, and it's quite strong. But I think playmaking is kind of limited on Route 66. Shambali. I think Shambali is easily a D tier, probably slightly above Circuit Royale. The problem with Shambali, especially first defense, is it's really easy to get around you, and there's not a lot you can do about it. And if you try to play first defense aggressively, like you play let me pull up Shambali as I talk about this. It's going to be easier for this map in particular. On Shambali, if you do play the defense aggressively, why did it not off Shambali restart? So if we look at Shambali, if you play this defense right here, the problem with this is you're really extended in this defense, right? So if your supports get pushed out, if they're on this high ground and they get pushed out or something, it's really hard for them to also carry you while trying to simultaneously care for the tank. So it's just gonna kind of depend. You can deny this high ground plateau quite easily, but the problem is eventually the enemy team is also gonna force cart, and it's really awkward. So I don't really like this defense. I think Cassie's good in the neutral here, but just because of how the geometry works out, people like Tracer can really shut you down by forcing cart, forcing objective, and you're kind of screwed. This defense on this point defense here is actually quite good for Cass. You can shut down this entire rotation through this mega room by just playing on the floor or even in this room here. And then you also have the high ground available to you. So I like the defense. The attack is a little bit awkward. I'm kind of getting to the point where I don't even come up the left stairs anymore, and instead I just hard flank, especially if I don't have a flex DPS. But the attack is you can make it work as well. I think it's very, very viable. Second defense is okay. There's a lot of really tight corners. You do have this window available to you as well. And on attack, you have this really long flank this way that you can work a lot as Cassidy. So it's quite good as well. He's just bad on third attack and defense. He's really weak just because of how the line of sight works out and the ranges work out. There's not a lot of playmaking available for you. There's no flanks. Everything is out of your range, and that's about it. So I think just talking about Numbani, or not Numbani, but Shambali here, there's not a lot of playmaking, but it's not like terrible range for him. So it's really in between C and D tier for me. I'm actually gonna put it at the bottom of C tier. Okay, Watchpoint Gibraltar. This is going to be easily a high B tier map, or maybe a bottom B tier map, because Cassie is not good on Gibraltar attack, unfortunately. He's really good at Cassidy, once again, is really good at locking down angles, especially if he's already on a high ground. And the thing that's nice about the geometry of Gibraltar is that whenever you come back from spawn to take the high grounds, it's basically always on the way, which is really nice. So on second, this is particularly relevant to second and first, right? Whenever you respawn on Gibraltar, taking this high ground is on the way, right? You don't have to take the rotation elsewhere. And same thing with first point, right? Taking this high ground is basically on the way every time. And standing up here as Cass is really strong. You have a flank route available to you this way to be able to shoot people in the back. And then you also on shuttle, he's really good at shuttle control. You can deny this quite easily, especially if you have a brig with you. You can poke out these angles. It's just really good. On the only thing that's a really big issue is on second point attack, your only good play is to come top here and try to force this fight. But sometimes it can be really hard to push this, especially if the enemy team has like a pocketed hit scan or a Freya or someone that can spam you out. So that's going to be the only issue. On first point, the entire attack really revolves around making this high ground rotation, poking out here, and look to make this cross. If you can make the cross safely, the chance of you winning first increases exponentially. Oh, you can't see, my fault. Well, anyway, long story short, basically, as long as you can make this rotation across the bridge on the first attack, you're going to win. But I think he's really good on this map. Outside of some of the attacks can be awkward. On third point, he's just really good in the neutral. This neutral fight, you will be surprised, is actually quite good for Cassidy, especially because for them to hold you, they have to hold tight to this corner, and Cassidy can win this fight a lot. On attack, you can also swing wide like this and look for a flank on the right side, and it's really winning. And then you can also use this high ground for a deadeye, and you can stand here both on attack and defense and do a lot as well. So in that sense, I think Gibraltar is actually quite a good map for Cassidy, and I'm going to be putting it in B tier. Okay, we have a lot of maps left, and I'm very swiftly getting tired. So we have two options here. I can just do the rest based on vibes without much of an explanation, or we can continue another time. So I think the best content here is going to be just doing them all with less detail. We're going to do most of it based on vibes because I'm reaching my point where I can't elaborate as well. So we're just going to fly through the rest of them. I'm not going to go as in-depth as I did for all the escort maps. Blizzard World. Blizzard World is going to be a D tier, high D tier. Reason being is how the meta works out on that map is there's a lot of dive that's popular, like Winston, Diva, and a lot of hit scans that are long range that you just can't really deal with them. And third point, you'd be surprised, is actually not good for Cass because it's so long range, even though it's kind of one lane. And it feels like it should be within your range. He just can't, there's no playmaking available. Shield tanks become popular at that point, and there's just not a lot you can do. It's really open in the mid area, so you just get stuck without, with roll. So it's just not good. First point is probably his best point on that entire map. Second point can be kind of awkward, but you just have to play around tank. There is some playmaking available to you, especially with first point as an option, but it's just not going to be a good map for you. D tier. Eichenwald. Eichenwald is going to be a middle C. I'm going to put it in a little bit under Route 66 here. Cassidy is really bad on second attack. He's really bad, and he's also really bad on third attack, in my opinion. He's okay into the neutral if you just want to run it down, but I generally find that I just can't make it work. I feel like heroes with a little bit longer range like Sojourner and with more spam potential, even Junkrat, are going to be better on Eichenwald third. Eichenwald first, Cassidy is actually extremely strong on both attack and defense just because of how the effective ranges work out, especially with on attack, you have the option of the right side mini room, which you can really leverage to your strength. He's also really good at clearing everybody there, especially if the enemy team wants to play something like a Tracer and a Reaper. He's really good at clearing people on first point attack and defense. Generally, Eichenwald is going to be C tier for me. If there was an easier way to get into the top of Castle, then I would actually bump it up a whole tier, but because Castle is really brutal for Cassidy to deal with, I'm gonna do a C tier. Hollywood, this is gonna be another C tier map in my opinion, generally around Eichenwald, but slightly higher, actually slightly lower in my opinion, maybe actually a little bit lower than Junkertown, because the problem with Hollywood really lies in third point and second point. First point, actually really good for Cassidy on both attack and defense. You have a lot of rotations available for you. There's great ways to hold it. The problem is point B. If you don't cap point B quickly, or you don't have a dive point, if you don't have if you don't take space quickly, or you don't have a dive tank, it can be really hard to take high grounds, especially when you're getting outranged by people like Ash, by people like Social, by people like Echo, Farah, anybody really with any semblance of range against you. It's really hard to deal with it. But or if they're playing like a diva that's really on you, it can be really tough. But also the problem with third point is you just get outranged a lot, and there's not a lot you can do other than trade tanks or contribute to the tank trade. So in my opinion, I think there's a limited playmaking on Hollywood, but it's not like terrible. I would put it in C tier. Kings Row, also C tier for me. I think it's definitely below Shambali. Kings Row is not a good Cassidy map, not because Cassidy is bad on paper, but because so many heroes are better than Cassidy. Hanzo, Torbjorn, Mei, Reaper, Tracer, Genji, like every other hero is just better. Okay, that's the only problem. Cassidy's not bad on King's Row, but it's because every other hero is better. You're gonna get limited on angles. You're going to get stuffed and chokes. You're not gonna be able to take rotations. There's just a lot of issues. Cassidy is just outvalued. That's the problem. It's not generally because he's bad. It's just because every other hero is good. So King's Row, in my opinion, is gonna be C tier. Especially because third point. Cassidy just can't do anything on third, on both attack and defense, other than spam down main. So it's going to be C tier. He's got very, very limited playmaking on third, and then he can actually carry on first and second. Midtown, this is going to be a middle of the pack C tier for me. We're going to put it probably toward the bottom, more like maybe a little bit below Shambali. The reason being, first point, first choke is really brutal for Cassidy on both attack and defense. On defense, it's a little bit better because you have the train as an option, but it's really easy to get stuffed on Midtown and not be able to do anything. On second point attack, if you don't have the right team comp, you can get outranged really easily, but you do have a way to get around that by playing the staircase, playing around some of the staircases. And on third point, you just kind of get outranged and there's no good angles. So really, because third and first are so weak, I'm putting it toward the bottom of C tier. I'm actually going to move it below King's Row, because at least on King's Row, depending on the enemy team comp, Cass can actually do something. Okay, Numbani. I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a hot take, but in my opinion, Cass is a must pick on Numbani. I think Numbani is an extremely good Cassidy map, because on first point, the coast side play is really strong. People kind of underestimate how strong Cassidy is on the coast side rotation. It's really easy to get picks there, and doing damage to them on high ground is really good. It's really, really, really good. You have other options on first point as well. You can run it down main if you need to, depending on timing. He's just really good. I think on second point, he's got a lot of flanks available to him after you get past first choke. You can, and also the first choke defense and offense is really good for Cass. It's really easy to hold that. I think he's really good on Numbani. I think on third point, you have a lot of rotations available to you. You can rotate through Mega Room as a flank on high ground, and he can control that room really easily. I just think he's good. I think he's good all across the board. There's a lot of different ways you can use Deadeye. That's really good on that map as well. There's a lot of high grounds. It's just, I think he's really good into dive on that map. The only particular time he's bad is if you're running it down main on first. I think that's the only time he's bad. I'm going to be honest. He has options. If you're getting, if second point, the enemy team is holding the high ground, for whatever reason, you can walk up the stairs, and generally that's going to be safe for you. Right? I think Numbani's a really good cast map. I think it's a really, really, really good cast map. A tier. I would pick that Cassidy on the map every single time. He's really also on first point defense. He can stuff trade. He can stuff rotation. Like, he's just good, man. There's a lot of things he can do. Stuff rotations on good angles at good range, and with a mini nearby. Like, this, it's just good. It's just good. Okay, the only F tier map for me is going to be Paraiso. Cassidy is really bad on both third and second point. I think he's better on second point defense, but he's just bad. He's really bad. You can make him work on first point, but I'm gonna be honest. There's just, every other hero is just better. There's better. Ash is better. Torb is better. Reaper's better. He's kind of a liability. There are some ways to make it work, but especially on second point Paraiso attack, there's nothing you can do. basically nothing you can do in my opinion. So I'm going to be putting it in an F tier. I don't think it, you should basically never play Cass on that map in my opinion. Very rarely. Or if we want to, discounting first point, because I actually think he's quite viable and can be good on first point. I'm actually gonna put it in bottom D tier. I'm gonna put it in bottom D tier. I don't think it's entirely like he's never viable. Like you should never play him, but I do think he's quite bad. His bottom D tier. Antarctic Peninsula, I think Cassidy is going to be a top of B tier. Definitely top of B tier. Point B attack is unplayable. Yeah, it is unplayable. You have to swap. You have to swap. One of the few points in the game where you have to swap off Cass. Okay, but I think Antarctic Peninsula is going to be a top of B tier. The only time it's awkward is if you're getting outranged on the sub-level map. If you're getting outranged on that map, that point can be kind of brutal. But everything else is really good. There's a lot of rotations that are available to you. It's hard to contest you. Everything's in your effective range. There are a lot of lanes that you can just outright deny on that map, especially if you play on the far side of the boat map. Icebreaker, it's really good. It's really, really, really good. So there's a lot of playmaking, lots of agency. Cassidy can really shut down a lot of the lanes. Yeah, it's just good. Gonna be a B tier for me. Busan, A tier must pick. Cassidy's good on every single point on that map. He's good even on Sanctuary. He's good because Cassidy can play in the drum side of the map, and he's really good at locking down drum side. He doesn't need to poke into main very much. If you ever find yourself needing to poke into main, you should just flank and then walk through like the alley side. I think he's really good on downtown. He's really good on Sanctuary. He's really flexible. So on mecha base, he's extremely good as long as you don't drop off the high ground. He's really good at locking down that angle. He's really good on all the first fight. He's just like the best hit skin on that map in my opinion. I think he's extremely strong. Jump propaganda won't affect you. He's really good on drum side. You should really pick him and play drum side. He's really good at, it's less so that he can make plays there, but he just locks it down. You can make flank plays there, but it's really hard to beat you when you're there. Ilios, B tier, a little bit under Antarctic Peninsula. Actually, we're gonna put this more at the bottom of Ilios because Ilios well is really awkward for Cass, especially if you lose first point. If you lose first point on well or first fight on well, it's really hard to retake his Cass. He's not really good on any of those fights, especially against like in the ball Genji comps. You're just gonna get shit on. So you can make him work on Lighthouse. You can really make him work on Ruins, especially just if you just play him as a main botter on Ruins. But I think Ilios is generally a good point and are generally a good map. All the ranges are good. You can play in that cage, just as Gargamel said there. There's some mini room cage you can play in as well. It's just generally good. The thing about control maps is there's a lot of flanks available to you generally, and the effective range, the ranges are really short or medium range, so there's a lot he can do in those neutrals. Ilios, bottom B tier, probably a little bit higher than Watchpoint Gibraltar, just because of well is just not that good, unfortunately. Li Zhang, A tier must pick Cass. He's really good on all 3 points in the neutral. You can argue a little bit less so on Night Market, but he's especially good on Garden and on, what's the other one called? Garden and Control Center. He's really good on both of those maps. He works really well on the neutral. There's a lot of flanks, right? It's just the same thing as all the controls, right? One thing about Li Zhang in particular is Control Center. He's always in his effective range, basically. And once again, Cass is really good at locking down angles, so he can just stand in a white room and zone everybody out for free, basically. Night Market, the rooms on the rights are so strong with Mega. Yeah, and that's the thing about Night Market. Like, you can go on the right side hard flank. I mean, sometimes it'll depend on the enemy comp. If they're playing something really dive heavy, that's not really as much of an option. But you also have coast side if they're not playing anything boop intensive. Like, you have options, right? There's a lot of playmaking available on Li Zhang. So good map. Nepal, we're gonna put this middle of B tier. It would be higher if Village didn't exist, or Village had slightly less range issues. A big problem with Village as well, and let me actually pull this up to show you because this is particularly relevant, is on Village. I know someone showed me how to do this, but I actually totally forgot. You can pick like sub maps, but we're just gonna random it until we get it. So the thing about Village is not really that there's no cover here. The problem, in my opinion, is that if you are in main and you realize that main is not a good option for you anymore, it's expensive to rotate out of main to go back to the other places. If this, instead of this being a cliff, if this was a staircase, I actually think this map would be better for Cassidy. But because this is not a staircase, you kind of have to commit if you stick to this angle, because this rotation just takes too long. So if they just made this a staircase, I think Village would be a better map. But all in all, I think Nepal has really good ranges. I think on Sanctum, he's just really good into the neutral. You can play him on the flank angles. And I think on Shrine, he is one of, if not the best hit scan on Shrine. So yeah, I think Nepal is going to be a good map. Maybe I'll put it a little bit under Ilios because Village is actually quite weak. And there are some situations on Shrine and Sanctum where you can get stuffed. Like Sanctum first choke, getting stuffed is actually a very real threat. I'll actually move it to bottom B tier. Oasis, this is going to be an A tier must pick. So actually top of B tier, actually A tier, actually top of B tier, sorry. Sorry, it's a little bit debatable. There's some problems with Oasis, specifically on University, where it's really easy to get stuffed, and if you get stuffed at first choke, there's not really a good way for you to make any plays. There's no play making really available. So University really bumps it down a little. It's a good map otherwise, discounting the first choke, but that first hold can be really tough. Also, I think on the jump pad map, I think it's called City Center, it's really easy to misplay on that map. If you're not rotating properly, you can get stuffed. It's just bad. Go coast if stuff first choke. On University, the problem is you might be thinking of Gardens where there's the high ground when you can go like far side. But it's more of like let me see if I can boot it up here. Show lobby. Oasis. Restart. So I'll just talk about all the maps, I guess, as we go through this. So on this map, the problem is it's really easy. You can play this high ground, but it's really easy to misplay, right? Sometimes the best part of the map is to be here. Sometimes the best point in the map is to be here. It's really contextual. I think this has a really high like skill expression map, I think, here. Like playing on every side here is generally good. All the fights are in your effective range. There's good cover to use as well. I just think it's like generally good for guys. But on the one I want to show specifically is University. So on University, this is City Center again. This is okay. So on this map, the problem I have is that on this fight here, if they're outranging your tank in the neutral here and your tank can't even walk, the problem is Cassidy can't really poke people out effectively from here, in my opinion. So what you like generally do is like try to come through this door and then look for this rotation, but sometimes even that's not possible. So this is like the only hard, like against Hazard, going co-side, you can't make this rotation though. That's what I'm saying. You can come here, but it's close proximity, right? So you're actually in dive range here is the problem. So it just depends. Like I've played against Hazards and I just get stuck and die sometimes here. Particularly a couple seasons ago when Hazard was a lot stronger. But I think it can be tough. So Oasis is going to be a little bit lower for me, in my opinion. Coast never works. Yeah, it doesn't really work for me either. I get stuff there quite often as well. Samoa, I'm going to be putting in a B tier a little bit. I actually think it's going to be slightly weaker than Oasis. But I think it's slightly... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me reorganize this a little bit. I definitely think Antarctic is stronger than Oasis. And then Samoa, I think it's like this for sure. Maybe like this. And then maybe like this. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of rearranging. But the thing about Samoa is that there are some... You're really good at denying angles on that map, but not the only map that Cassidy's, like, in my opinion, relatively weak on is the map that has the really open area in the middle. I forgot what it's called. But let me pull it up. Samoa. It's going to be this map. So the problem with this map is that there's other hit scan that are good, So Sojourn, Torbjorn, Ash. I mean, those aren't all hit skins, but anyway, like there's a lot of people that are better than you, even Soldier, that you just get outranged by. So your best play is like, oh, sorry, you are right. You cannot see. My fault. Check Discord. Okay, give me a second. So your best play is generally to like come through this right side and shoot people like this. Like this. And you can get caught in that rotation a lot. Yeah, Gargamel, I know what you're talking about. I know what you... That doesn't really help. Because so what Gargamel showed, let me see if I can show desktop here. Now, where is it? I know I had it at one point. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing. But long story short, basically Gargamel's talking about like you can go co-side on university. I understand what you mean. It's just still not good in my opinion. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't break your like I go even further. Sometimes it doesn't work. But anyway, going back to Overwatch, the problem with this map is this is your only good play a lot of the time on this map, and it's really easy to get marked here. It's not, you can win these fights, but it can be awkward because you're going to be really isolated to your supports who are generally in man. So that's my problem. So I do think Samoa is good because once again, you're really good at denying angles. So you can lock down a lot of the side lanes on all 3 of the maps, and it's quite winnable. So Samoa is going to be a B tier for me. Colosseo, we're going to put Colosseo in C tier. We're going to put it under Eichenwald because actually probably even actually under Junkertown. Maybe it's slightly above Hollywood. The problem with Colosseo is there's lots of ways to get around you for flankers. So like Tracer, Genji, even Flyers, they can get around you pretty easily. You get outranged in the neutral by basically everybody. There's not a lot of good cover on most of the map. And on the point where the bot, like the first checkpoint, is a really awkward fight for Cassidy always. You can get flanked from basically everywhere. You can't get to the high ground easily on attack. You have to like set up for it. It's just bad. Honestly, I want to move it even lower. I think Colosseo is just not a really high agency Cassidy map, unfortunately. The only thing it has going for it is that it's really good neutral range for Cassidy on the second half of the map. But other than that, it's just kind of bad. It's just kind of bad. Not a lot of playmaking. So Colosseo is C tier for me. It's also really easy to make mistakes on Colosseo just because you can get flanked so much. Like too much. And the flanks aren't good for you. They take too long for you. But for flankers, they're relatively short. Esperanza. Esperanza, I've kind of changed my mind on. I am going to raise it higher. The reason I used to not like Esperanza as much is because I didn't really know how to win the first checkpoint fight after you cap and you're going into like that first stretch on the second half of the map. But I've largely figured it out because I've watched pro play. Esperanza is a really dive heavy map, and it's the thing that sucks about it is that there are really open areas that are hard for you to rotate through if you don't anticipate the dives. But with good setup and good rotations in mind, you can actually play Esperanza quite well. But there are some situations where you just kind of can't play make to your best ability, particularly on if you're retaking on the checkpoint fight. It's really hard. It's really, really hard to carry on that point. But so Esperanza, in my opinion, is going to be C tier. I'm actually going to move it probably down more, probably a little bit around, probably equal to Colosseo in my opinion in terms of viability for Cass. New Queen Street, quite good for Cass because the rotations are easier to make, the ranges are quite good for you, and there are a lot of like really advantageous health packs, like the mega room that's alone on the side is actually really good for you. The statue side of the map is not that good for you because it's hard to rotate out of that location. But because it wraps over to the enemy side of the map, there's a lot of really good hidden rotations for you. The best fight, let me actually pull up New Queen Street here. So the best fight for you actually on New Queen Street is, let me pull it up. And if you guys watch me play, you see me do this all the time, all the time. This fight for you is so unbelievably good. you should be taking this fight all the time. So what you should do is, like, let's say you're pushing the cart this way, you should take this fight and shoot people in the back and just like do this and contest this lane. It's really strong. Really, 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 really strong. Also, what's really good for Cassidy is this here, and then looking for like a late fight rat play like this, like really risky, but it's really good as well. I love that. I love that. I love playing in this mega room. You also have the high grounds available to you, which can be quite good. I love New Queen Street. I've started to like it more as I've become a more disciplined cast player. I think it's actually quite good. Also, ball is really popular here, so you can flash a ball a lot. And there's just a lot of really good matchups for you. A lot of favorable matchups. Also, Soldier is good on this map, and it's an okay matchup into you. But here, a lot of your like bad matchups just aren't really that good on Queen of Queen Street, in my opinion. I go into a room into high ground. What do you mean? Like this? Like, boom. I take it from Spilo. This is first fight. I think you should always go main, to be honest, if that's what you're talking about. First fight, I think this is your best play, is to help in this neutral, because then if you have this high ground, it's really easy to poke people out, and it's quite strong. The room behind you. Okay, that's not really helpful. This one, you can roll across this window to this high ground like this, if that's what you're talking about. And this is really strong too. And like New Queen Tree is just a good cast map, in my opinion. There's a lot of rotations available to you, and there are a lot of favorable matchups you're just gonna walk into here. Whoops. Never mind, I can't describe it. All right, no problem. Runasapi, also another good cast map. I know cast gets played a lot on Runasapi, but I in solo queue, I think it's still gonna be like around the same level of strength as the rest of the push maps. You do maybe a little bit higher than Hollywood and Junkertown, maybe higher than Icon Wall, maybe actually the top of C tier. Maybe actually the bottom of B tier. I'm actually gonna put it at the bottom of B tier with New Queen Street. Maybe actually a little bit higher, maybe like above New Queen Street. The thing about Runasapi is a lot of the neutrals are just really good for cast, and there's a lot of really safe angles, right? So if I pull up Runasapi as well, let me do Runasapi, then turn this one off, restart it. There's a lot of really safe angles you can take where it's hard to clear you as well. So on this fight here, I was just actually did a VOD review for this. Oops, I'm not on the right screen, my fault. Let me move it. There we go. On this fight here, this angle is really good for cast, because if they come fight you, you can just back up this way. And it's really hard to clear you. So I love this fight for Cassidy as well. You also have options, like you can play here and here. They're not always better, but they are good. And then you do have, like in the neutral here on this main part of the map, playing this bus is just so good. It's just so good. And then on this first fight here, you can wrap left side, especially if you have a support coming with you. You can actually commit to this quite aggressively, and it's really good as well. Having all of these flanks in your effective range. I think Runasapi is quite good for cast, for sure. I don't think it's like a must-pick cast, to be honest, but I do think it's really good. Let me move back to Firefox. Okay. Atlas is going to be a B tier. I think it's going to be probably a B tier, slightly above Nepal. And let me actually move Gibraltar down here. I think Atlas is really good. It's a lot of tight angles. There's a lot of chokes, and he's really good at stopping rotations on that map, especially in solo queue when there's a little bit less coordination. So let me actually boot this up and show you an example. I'm not going to go through all of the points on Atlas just because it's a Flashpoint map is too long. Well, I don't even know why it's not popping up. Why is it not popping up? Is Atlas like disabled or something? Maps. Okay, Atlas is, I just can't even pick Atlas. Okay, cool. Anyway, well, the problem is, or the thing is, there's a lot of like really ratty flank angles on that map, and Cass is really good at locking those down. And it's really hard. Once you have point, it's hard to clear Cass as well. It's just good. It's all in your effective range. There are a lot of flank routes available. The only point that's bad for Cass is, in my opinion, is first point. First point's really clunky. It's really awkward. There's too many angles. It's really dive advantageous. So in my opinion, it's just not that great. So we're going to have to rock Atlas as a It is a good map. Like, you should be playing Cassidy on Atlas. It's just first point itself can be quite tough. So I'm going to be giving it a B tier. So that's how's it going? We're almost done with our tier list. I was going to go super in depth on this, but it was just taking too long and I'm getting tired. So we're flying through it. New Junk City is going to be after the rework. So after the rework, bottom of C tier. Tail resisting to put maps on F. We're going to reevaluate. I don't think there's a must swap map though. I'm going to be honest. I think the problem is Cassidy is slightly viable on first point. I mean, if we're gonna be for real, Parry is just the only F tier. It's the only one. Well, I'll put it in F just for the sake of having an F tier, because it also makes sense. But anyway, New Junk City. The thing about New Junk City is that there are some points where the flanks the rotation takes a long time to flank. But once again, it's kind of the same thing as the other Flashpoint maps like Atlas and Suravasa. All the effective ranges are good for you. There's a lot of rotations available for you. Having a point like capture being a thing is really good for Cassidy because he can just deny points, right? So, I mean, I don't really know how to describe it otherwise than it's just good angles, good matchups. It's just good for Cass. And then Suravasa is going to be an A tier must pick Cass. Cassidy's really good on Suravasa. Lots of good angles, good effective range. He can lock down rotations, good matchups. It's just good. One of my favorite, Suravasa is my favorite map in the game. A lot of people are viable on Suravasa. The viability in point A is not good. On Paraiso, I think he's good. I think with my playbook, he's good. I have devised the proper Paraiso playbook. But without going like extremely in depth and rationalizing literally everything and flying through the maps, this is going to be my playbook. All right, gotta go back to stream. All right, sounds good, bro. This is my tier list. Let's do some movement. Numbani moved down. Lijiang, Busan is actually probably more than Lijiang in my opinion, but Numbani's up here still. I'm not even trolling, guys. By the way, I seriously think Cassie's a must pick on Numbani. Not even trolling. Antarctic, Oasis Dorado, Samoa, Ilios, Rialto. We're going to move Dorado down a little bit. Actually, quite a bit compared to some of these other maps. Probably like slightly, probably below Runasapi. Nah, I think it's above Runasapi, to be honest. New Queen Street. Watchpoint Gibraltar. Okay, probably like this. And then probably move Rialto down to probably like to honestly the bottom of B tier. Probably makes the most sense. Actually, Rialto's probably C tier, top of C tier. Because B tier, because point B, you're limited to the high ground play point 2, you're limited to high ground, and point 3, you're limited, like it's a lot of just playing in neutral. I think it's gonna be more of a C tier, to be honest. Route 66, Eichenwald, Junkertown, Hollywood, okay. Kings Row, Shambali, okay. Blizzard World, Circuit Royale, Havana, and then Paraiso. Okay. Cool. This is it. I'm going to screenshot it and put it in the Discord. Snipping tool. Boom. Screenshot. Surprised Eichenwald isn't lower. Eichenwald. Oh, yeah. But you're actually right. Eichenwald should be lower. I didn't even notice this. Eichenwald should be probably like slightly above Kings Row. It kind of has the same issue. First point is just really strong, and then after that, it kind of shits to bed. That's actually a good catch. Did I get anything else wrong? Alex, shoot to me. Rialto. Route 66. Probably switch this. Cost you. I think he's. Yeah. Yeah. Probably actually flip these. Probably actually flip all of these. And then this is definitely just true. Yeah, Perry says definitely like one of the worst points for casting the game. Worst map. Okay, that's it. That's it though. I think this looks good after triple dog checking. This is the tier list. Basically, what you guys should do is you should vote for anything B tier or above. And you should just never vote for Blizzard World Circuit Royale Havana Prayer. So you should never, ever, 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 ever vote for those maps. Basically. But yeah, this is it. You always want Busan, Lijiang, Servasa in my opinion, Numbani. I know that's a hot take, but I seriously think Cassidy is extremely good on Numbani. I love that map. I feel like I always win on Numbani. Or if I don't win, it's an always lose type of game, which is very, very rare. Or like I just made some egregious error. Like it's super carryable on that map, in my opinion. Anyway. I am zapped. I am extremely tired, which is why I didn't go as in depth through the rest of that. Sorry, guys. But I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Today we had a lot more viewers than I'm used to, so I really appreciate everyone both chatting and lurking. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a fantastic stream. Sorry, this is me flipping through this, but let me go back to my gameplay. Let me just switch it back. But thank you guys for tuning into the stream once again. I really appreciate everyone showing the love and showing up. Our next stream will be Monday, where we will do more coaching, and I might stream over the weekend. I had a friend of mine ask me to coach his high school team, so I might stream some coaching then. That will be for coaching heroes other than Cassidy as well. It will be like Tracer. It will be DPS, but it'll be like Tracer and stuff like that. But it'll be in less, it'll be a less professional environment, I guess. But anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Once again, thank you all for tuning in for today's stream. I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.